Sean Combs' 7 children gave statements on behalf of their father. One that I thought was very notable. I mean, all of them at points in time sort of broke down and cried or had a hard time getting those statements out. But Delilah, one of the twins, 18 years old, she said, "Your Honor, please give our family the chance to heal together and move forward, not as headlines, but as human beings trying to do better." That was sort of the sentiment from all of his children. He's our dad. We need him. We want him home. We've seen a change.
Prosecutors want Combs sentenced to 11 years in prison. The Fast and Furious star Tyrese Gibson was arrested today in Georgia. CBS's Stacey Lynn has that.
The actor was charged with cruelty to animals and released on bail. Police say at least one of his Cane Corso Mastiff dogs attacked and killed a neighbor's Cavalier King Charles Spaniel last month. In his statement, Gibson's attorney said he extends his deepest condolences to the family who lost their pet.
U.S. forces have attacked a 4th boat off the coast of Venezuela, killing 4. Here's White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
The president has directed these actions, these strikes against Venezuelan drug cartels and these boats, consistent with his responsibility to protect the United States interests abroad and in furtherance of the U.S. national security and foreign policy interests.
Senators at this hour are voting to see if there's enough Democratic support to end the government shutdown. CBS's Natalie Brand on the effects of that shutdown.
The Office of Management and Budget is still talking to the various federal agencies and actively assessing next steps as the shutdown continues. And a lot of federal employees hoping that if there is a resolution very soon, that this won't come, these layoffs won't come to fruition.
Apple has removed an app that tracks immigration agents from its App Store. Details from CBS's Michael Wallace.
Apple says it's no longer offering the app ICE Block because law enforcement believes it's a risk to officer safety. ICE Associate Director Marcos Charles says the shooter at an ICE detention facility in Dallas last week had used an ICE tracking app.
It's no different than giving a hitman the location of their intended target.
Joshua Aaron developed the ICE Block app.
We don't need to know from an app that police officers are at the police department.
He says his app is meant to help people avoid confrontations with ICE agents, not to disrupt ICE operations.
The Dow is up about 0.75% at this hour. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. We offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options. Visit Progressive.com today.
A suspect has been arrested in Everett in an arson attempt. More in a moment. First, Nate Connors checks in with KIRO News Radio traffic.
Thanks, Tom. The Emerald Queen Casino's got the update. Mercer Island, we cleared that collision eastbound 90 at East Mercer Way there in the work zone, but you're backed up to West Mercer Way still. Seattle to Bellevue, plan on 25 minutes. That's a 10-minute delay. South 5 heading into Seattle, still packed through Northgate into the U District. Linwood to Seattle is a 20-minute trip. North 5, you're filling in, approaching the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. Northbound 167, we've got a 2-mile solid backup through our Pacific lane reductions. It's 15 minutes to clear this. And Tacoma to Olympia has gone up a bit. We're at 50 minutes. You've got a 3-mile backup past the JBLM main gate. The Emerald Queen Casino is the entertainment capital of the Northwest, the best place to watch all your favorite sports, featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, kiosks, and more. Be there at emeraldqueen.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Tom Hutler, and a man is in custody after allegedly setting fire to 2 adult novelty shops in Everett on Wednesday. Authorities tell the Everett Herald the 48-year-old suspect used gasoline to ignite both stores, one on Airport Road, the other on Evergreen Way. Fire crews quickly contained those blazes. No injuries reported. The suspect booked into Snohomish County Jail on suspicion of possessing a controlled substance with knowingly no prescription, 2 counts of arson, burglary, and resisting arrest. Starting November 1st, Community Transit's going to roll out revised rules of conduct aimed at improving safety on buses and at transit facilities. Updates include clearer enforcement guidelines, support from embedded social workers, and expanded coverage on zip shuttles in Arlington, Darrington, Lake Stevens, and Linwood. The agency also has a new security operations center and 35 transit security officers on the way. Well, the rain made a big difference on the Bear Gulch fire, as we hear from KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon.
Mason County lifted the last evacuation orders yesterday, and this morning Upper Lake Cushman is back open. The U.S. Forest Service is still guiding people around the restricted areas. Right now, the fire has burned more than 20,000 acres. It's still 5% contained. Remember, it started in early July.
That rain coming in very handy there, but Kittitas County is facing an unprecedented water crisis, and we hear from KIRO 7 TV's Dee Dee Sun.
3 straight years of drought have forced the state to roll out serious water restrictions starting Monday. The restrictions cover the entire county, but cities like Ellensburg, Cle Elum, Roslyn, Kittitas, South Cle Elum, and Ronald are working extra hard to alert homes and businesses about these changes. After 3 years of low rainfall, Yakima Basin reservoirs have dropped to critically low levels. Officials expect water to run out as soon as next week.
And the county and cities are asking residents to reduce water intake. Restrictions will last the entire month of October. Time now for a weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We have a little bit of rain in our forecast, not much, just drizzle, mist, maybe a isolated shower. Otherwise, dry and a little bit of sunshine, which we're getting downtown right now, where it's 55 under partly cloudy skies. I'm Tom Hutler, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes! That guy's good.
Yes! Who did that?
There's only one person.
Did you two were you in cahoots?
I have to tip my hat to the one and only Tom Hutler.
Right here. That's
right
awesome.
there, buddy. Look at that.
Give me one of these. Give me one of these. Tom Hutler.
It was my pleasure.
That was a dream come true. I didn't even know I wanted it so bad until I heard it. Can we play that again? Can we play that one more time, Nick? Living my dream. All right, here it goes. Here it goes. I don't know if Nick can hear me. Here it goes.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Oh, my gosh. That gives me chills. Tom Hutler is in studio with us.
Yeah. How are you not resting your voice, first off?
Well,
how are you? Thank you for being here.
You know what's weird is I have a singing thing tonight, too. So I have this that I worked at all day. I got a rehearsal at the stadium this afternoon for the first game tomorrow, and then I'm supposed to go sing. But I think I'll be doing like
hold on a second.
Mouthing.
You want to stand in? You want me to come up? You want to back up?
Yeah, why don't you?
We'll
I
talk.
think he wants you standing for the singing. He doesn't want you to
No,
yeah.
I understand. Believe me, I'm not delusional.
Let me ask you.
I will find out where you're playing tonight. If you need me to tap in for a jump in from the top buckle,
all right,
get a song for you.
I gotta hash something out real fast. I want to get into Mariners in just a second because obviously this is everybody's talking about this. Very exciting. Singing.
Oh yeah, I'm like Spike, a musician, but I sing in a couple. I have a couple bands of my own, and I do some solo stuff. I'm doing a thing with a duo tonight with a buddy of mine. So,
really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is there some place where we can hear some of the singing? Is there a website or somewhere? Do you post any of the singing anywhere?
Some of it, but it's kind of scattershot. So
okay,
I can try to find something. But
I found that people in the crowd who love you and record with their cell phone and post don't often get the best production value.
That's true. All right.
Yeah.
Tom Hutler, you have been front and center for how many seasons now?
This is my 39th year.
39th year. What is the feeling right now with the Mariners and specifically with the fans in Seattle?
It's really a feeling like I've never had before because we've had 3 other division championships and we've been to the playoffs a couple of other times, but this, because of the fan involvement right now, is more special to me because everybody's into it. In the past years, it's been like Seahawks season rolls around. It's like, all right, hope the Mariners do well, but it's a Blue Friday.
Yeah, right.
I've seen one sweatshirt in here today, and that was Nate, that has Seahawks. Everybody else is talking about the Mariners.
We shunned him accordingly.
And I love that. I love that people are so into it that we had a scrimmage yesterday and a scrimmage Wednesday. They sold out. They capped it at 5,000 people, but 5,000 people
could have sold a lot more than that.
Yeah, they could have sold more. They just didn't want to have to pay for a bunch of staffing and not know for sure how many were coming. So the intensity and the level of excitement from the fans is unprecedented, and that's what's gratifying to me is that this team connects so well with the community. I was talking about it with G a little while ago, how with Julio and Cal, you've got two of the best in the game, but also A1 character people. And then you've got Gino Suarez, and you've got Randy Arozarena, and you've got Victor Robles, and you've got J.P. Crawford, and you've got, Logan Gilbert. And the list goes on about how endearing to the fans they are and how accessible they are. And they all love each other. You can tell the way they treat each other. The camaraderie is just
wonderful.
It's hard to duplicate that with 26 guys basically living together. And it's been a really fun ride. And obviously, everybody says, "How long do I want to do the PA announcing?" I will say, "Well, I'd like to do it till we win a World Series," but Dave Niehaus wanted to do that too, and it didn't work out for him. And
I'll tell you what,
no pressure, Mariners.
No pressure, but this could be. Well, it could be the year, but you're not saying you're hanging it up if they win the. No, you want to keep going.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm not saying
Make
that.
Make it two. Say 2 World Series.
Yeah, let's go back to back.
The thing that this the feeling that I'm getting in the air right now, and we'll get to other news stories in a minute, but we got to focus on Mariners for a second. In '95, I was 11 years old. And watching the Mariners in '95, it's all anybody was talking about. It's all any of me and my friends. The only thing we worried about at school was talking about the Mariners and being excited for the Mariners and watching it on TV in our houses. And if we could get to a game, that was great. And now I have sons of my own. I have 4 sons now. My oldest is 10. And so to watch the games with them, knowing that they might be having some of those same core life experiences that I had, that I remember all these years later, 30 years later, is a pretty unbelievable. It's a surreal experience, and people have not had that with the Mariners for the last couple of decades. I mean, there have been glimpses, but not like this.
No, and plus it's intensified for them because of the access to social media and information that wasn't available to you when you were 11 in '95. It certainly wasn't available to me growing up. It's like I saw the Sunday or the Saturday game of the week on NBC, and it was usually a Yankee game against somebody. And there was no way to find out about somebody being injured or what their hitting streak was.
We
and
get
now
the morning papers. The next morning, you can turn to the sports page in the morning paper and figure out who hit what, who did. You're looking at the scoreboard. Watching used to be in black and white print.
I only knew what they were doing the next year when I got it on the back of the baseball card.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only way I knew about it.
But your sons are going through, at least your 10-year-old's going through the best time to be a baseball fan because you can, as much as he wants to absorb, he can.
Well, we don't allow him access to social media.
Well, that's probably a good idea.
So we're limiting that, but we do get him. We have all that stuff that we can give to him, but we just don't give him access to it. But he sees all the videos. They watch, like what you said about these guys being like A-class quality guys. When you did that story about the big dumper, it's funny. My kids run around talking about the big dumper in the house. Yeah. Normally, we would discourage that, but right now it's like kind of okay.
Leaning into it.
But, he's posing for pictures with that kid who was handed the 60 home run ball and just stuff like that. They're cool guys. So you're rooting for these guys. And not only are you rooting for them, they don't feel like underdogs. They feel like the dominant big dogs.
Well, those are two legit superstars right there in Julio and Cal.
Yeah.
And I'm leaving out guys that are no slouches. That's the thing about this lineup. There's no easy out in the lineup. And it used to be, if we can get past Cal and Suarez, then we could take a deep breath and exhale. No. Canzone can hurt you. Robles can hurt you. Crawford can hurt you. Arozarena, they can all.
And then when I go to get a guy like Naylor at the deadline, I mean, that's the thing for me is that these guys, not only did they lock down Julio when it was time to not let another superstar move on to a greener pasture, has always been the rule of Mariner baseball. It used to be watch the All-Star game and go former Mariner, former Mariner, former Mariner.
Sure.
But they at the trade deadline they made a commitment to the city and the fan base.
Naylor has become almost a must sign for this club, not only because of his performance, because how beloved he's become.
Just a character.
I saw a meme on Facebook or something last night where it was like a South Park, or no, what's the one with the dad, the big heavyset dad with the
Family
dog?
Guy.
Oh, Family
Guy. He was saying, I've given you this check, Mr. Naylor, and I want you to fill in whatever amount you feel like.
Yeah, no kidding. That's what it's like.
Yeah.
Just for the fans, I'm really interested in this, so I hope the audience will be on board too, and I hope that you'll share this information. Tomorrow, you get to head down to T-Mobile, and you get to the game starts at what, 5:30?
5:38, yeah.
5:38. What's your day look like before that? What time you get into the stadium? I assume that you have pretty good parking at this point.
Yeah, I do have really good parking. The day look a little more hectic tomorrow than obviously. Like I mentioned, we have a rehearsal tonight to go over everything. So I'm going to go down there. That starts. So Dan Wilson, being as careful to do everything he can to make this work. They had the scrimmage at 2:00 on Wednesday. They had it at 5:00 last night. So whatever game time they were going to maybe start, they had that,
smart.
the shadows. And so when they found out it was going to be Detroit coming, then they knew the game Saturday would be at 5:38. So they were going to work out again today, and we were going to do our rehearsal after that at, say, 4. Well, now Dan says, I want to do our workout at 5:38, so we can approximate the same lighting. And so,
Isn't that genius?
Yeah, it's like no stone unturned.
It's like every little thing. It's like, was it Wooden who said, like, you just do everything you can off the court before you get on the court.
Yeah.
Make sure your socks are combed out perfectly.
Exactly.
So there's
everything's got to be
every little thing. So
leave nothing to chance. So tomorrow, 5:38 start. I'll probably get down there by 3, just because I don't want to worry about parking, and I don't want to worry.
It's going to be a lot of folks down there.
Yeah, trying to fight the crowds to get in, and then I will sit and make sure I know all the pronunciations, because that's the game where, the first game of every series, you're the PA announcers. Let's join PA announcer John Johnson as he announces. So I'll introduce all of their batters and all of our batters, and but I want to make sure that I say all their names correctly.
Yeah, you want to be respectful.
Absolutely.
No, I don't want
professional. You bet. Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't want their mom and dad in Poughkeepsie saying, "Hey, you mispronounced my son's name."
There's nothing more important to a person than their own name.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing. And
Well,
no.
when I got married, the priest that we've known for years, who christened my wife when she was born, introduced us as Mr. and Mrs. Skormeyer. And I didn't lose any sleep over it. We laugh about it.
Well, yeah.
That's a big day.
I noticed you didn't change your name to Skormeyer.
No,
though.
I didn't change my
there
name to
you go.
Skormeyer.
Okay,
Yeah,
so like I
but,
said.
But I didn't I don't wish him ill. If Tom gets the name wrong every once in a while.
I know, but I mean,
they're focused on the game.
This might be the only time that these players, either Mariner or Guardian, for some of them, get to a postseason appearance.
And a national
These are
TV,
rare moments.
Boy, it's a lot more rare than you think.
Yeah, it really is.
Because when I was growing up, I just assumed, like, oh yeah, the Mariners just going to do, or like everybody probably did for the Seahawks after 13-14.
Oh yeah, this is going to. Let's get used to this.
Yeah,
don't get used to this.
It's interesting too, because Detroit just played a 3-game series, and I've had friends who say, "Well, that's great. They played 3 games, and now they got to come here, and they're going to be tired." I go, "No, they play every day already. I mean, they're used to that. We're the ones that we're not used to having days off.
That's why Wilson was brilliant to put together some scrimmages.
Yeah. Who are the players? I hope you don't mind if I just keep going with it, because I'm super interested in this. I used to be a ball boy for the Sonics when we still had an awesome team.
How can we get him as a bat boy for this?
He might be a little old for a bat boy, although I would do it. If they want me to do it, I'm happy to do it. Quick side note, we did have ball boys that were married men at the Sonics at the time. I'm not even joking. Who had day jobs, respectable day jobs at Microsoft, and worked as ball boys.
Those are the ones who could be trusted to grab single females out of the stands. That's why. They were in committed relationships.
Tom hasn't heard that story.
They weren't. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
They used to send me up into the stadium to get numbers.
Oh my gosh! Really?
During the game.
You think?
I guess that didn't shock me.
All right. So here's my question. So there used to be players with the Sonics who would get there super early, and these guys are the best of the best because they're talented, but they also practice hard. That's why they get to the professional league. On the team with the Mariners, like, who's the guy that's out there the earliest on the field? Who are the guys? And I'm not asking you to leave anybody out and dog on anyone. But
I would say right now, Cal is down there as early as anyone. And that's another thing when you're making the case for the MVP. Aaron Judge, if it was the best offensive player, then probably Judge gets it. But the most valuable player, because of the position Cal plays, has so much of a demand on it. And we talked about this a few months ago about how I hoped they'd give him some rest down the line. But the demands of that position don't go just to the physical. He has to sit with the pitchers before every game, go over the opposing hitters with that pitcher. Here's how we want to attack this guy. Here's what we're going to do with this guy. Here's what this guy likes to hit on an 0-2 pitch. And then he's out there calling the defense. If there's first and third on the other team, he goes out and he gives them a signal like what we're going to do on a first and third play. So he's mentally and physically taxed before he even picks up the bat.
Which is exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's eating up a lot of energy.
And he's 28, but I mean, he's probably got the knees of a 38-year-old already. And not to mention foul tips that come in and hit his fingers, and they're all gnarly.
He stayed strong down the stretch is phenomenal.
Yeah.
We've never seen a before kind of moment.
His season is just to be greatly admired for sure.
When do we? I mean, it's going to be Judge, right?
I don't know.
Think it's going to be Judge.
I think
the last little fantasy or fan graphs or fan duels poll I saw had Cal just minuscule points ahead of him, but
all those East Coast sports writers, those guys are biased.
The East Coast, it's tough for them to stay up to watch a game
Plus, New Yorkers just talk louder.
They just talk louder. No, you're right. They do. They're louder, and those New Jersey types. Just kidding. I like New Jersey folks sometimes. Here's a last question for you. What are you eating at the? Because you're in it. Your instrument is your voice. You want to make sure that you're not stumbling over crab legs, which are now an offering at T-Mobile this weekekend.
Yeah, I do. I saw there's 6 new dishes. I guess they're doing. I generally eat before I go to the ballpark.
Are you a man of routine?
Yeah, and there is a somebody asked me what was my little who asked me that earlier. My little pregame ritual. Somebody was talking about pregame rituals. Mine is I said I go trick or treating. I was telling it to Amanda and Charlie this morning. Robbie, who's the floor producer for the Root Sports Rest in Peace broadcasts, is a Spokaneite like myself, but he always had a big bowl of like fun-sized Snickers and Mounds and Almond Joys and all that kind of stuff in the room back there. And so I'd go grab my Diet Coke, go get a little handful of candy, a
little sugar high,
exactly what I need.
Yeah, just get flying.
So that was my meal.
That's fantastic. Spike, do you have any more questions for Tom, or should we let him rest his voice?
I think we've taxed him. No, I so much appreciate you giving us this insight. This is gold.
It's very exciting.
For a city that's a lot of us in the city, your boys have never been here before.
Yeah.
No.
And we may never get back here again. Knock wood, this is a team built for the long haul, and I think they are. But what a moment. I thank you so much.
And if I can say real quickly, I get to share it with my son, who I coached in baseball all through high school, and he's been a major fan all through his life. He's 35 now. So the last time they won that division, he was 11 years old.
Yeah.
And he's got a little 3.5-year-old boy who just breathes, eats, and sleeps. And I've got 2 11-year-old grandsons who are big. I mean, one of them's playing fall ball down in Southern California. He wanted to come up. If his dad is a Cleveland fan, so if Cleveland won, they were going to try to come up.
Yeah.
That didn't work out. But anyway, it's just great to be able to share with my family. My daughters are both, because they're baseball moms, they're into the sport, and it's just a whole family thing.
That's the beauty of baseball. So, like as you mentioned, Jake, it's multi-generational.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It goes back to our youth. I'm from Baltimore, and I keep bringing it up,
Sure.
but I was raised in the era of Brooks Robinson, Frank Robinson, Boog Powell, Jim Palmer, and so my earliest memories of community.
Even Merv Rettenmund.
You betcha, man. The Demper, everybody. And
you there for Ripken?
Oh yeah, I was 20 when Ripken won the World Series.
Wow.
And, old enough to illegally drink outside.
I guess everybody's old enough to illegally.
I did
drink.
it right though. I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
No, Baltimore, the drinking age was 18 for beer, 21 for
really?
alcohol. Yeah, as I was growing up, so I was able to legally have a beer at Memorial Stadium, watching the game for the 1983 World Series, which we won on the road, which sucks, but it happens.
Yeah. That's fun.
Great
All right,
times.
well, Mariners game starts tomorrow night, 5:38 p.m.
5:08.
Is that a
on
loose
Sunday.
time, 5:38-ish?
Yeah. Major League Baseball's got
to the second.
It's a ballpark figure, so to speak.
Yeah.
Why 5:38? Why?
I don't know. I guess they got
Anthems, introductions, sponsorships, the whole nine. They to the second.
Somebody said, "Why do they start at 7:10 instead of 7?" And I said, "Well, because in baseball they have to do a little pregame show. Here's the scene set and all that. In the NFL, they've already kind of done it before the game starts, so they can usually kick off right at 1. But baseball needs a little time to get the run up of here's a pitching matchup tonight, and this guy's been hot, and he's one of the stories of the game. And then by 7:08, they're ready to go." In this case, though, as Spike says, it's a clockwork thing with the network. So
we've been pushing for a 7:40 start because Laura hasn't seen a first inning all season. She just gets there naturally later.
Did they finally? MLB finally turned you down on that?
They get you a hard no.
They didn't delay the game for 2 hours for Laura.
Well, I've been guaranteeing home runs.
That's true.
All season. So
when she's late, the Mariners always win.
Cal hits a leadoff, first at bat home run, I should say.
Both times.
And Laura's missed them numerous times.
and I don't think it's a coincidence.
There you go. All right, Tom Hutler, appreciate it, man, and thank you for that opening. That's exciting. We should play that every single day.
I would think. Well, we got a month at least.
Yeah.
That's going to be good. I would hope. Yeah.
No, it's good forever. I like it.
Fair enough.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Jason Rantz is going to join us next. There was a mayoral debate last night.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it from the paper this morning, by the way.
You wouldn't know it, although we're going to play you a clip of quite possibly one of the dumbest things. If you were running for mayor,
okay,
I would chalk this right up there with one of the dumbest things that you can say in a mayoral debate when you're only how many weeks away from an election.
Is this an I can't think of anything moment for him, maybe?
Yes.
Oh, that's bad.
We'll play it for you next, and we'll get your reaction to it as well. So stick around. We'll be right back.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
While you're getting ready every morning, make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah. Got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO News Radio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO News Radio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
If you're a veteran struggling with your monthly bills, VA loan expert Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage has some good news for you.
Rates have dropped recently, and this could be a great time for our veterans to think about a cash-out refinance to get out of your high-interest rate debt. For example, one of our clients had a 2.25% VA loan, but he owed more than $155,000 on credit cards and a home equity loan. So we paid off all of that debt and replaced his mortgage with a VA cash-out refinance. And the new VA loan saved him $1,268 per month. So give us a call and see if a VA cash-out refi can help save you money. And remember, with a VA loan, you can buy a home with no money down.
And you can help non-veterans as well.
That's right. If you have a conventional loan, we'll run the numbers and see if we can help save you money, too.
Honest advice you can trust from the VA loan experts, Best Mortgage. Call now, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Contractors and heavy equipment operators, get ready for a big one. The James D. Murphy Company brings you the huge Marysville Heavy Equipment, Contractors Equipment, Trucks, and Vehicles online auction. And bidding is underway now. On the auction block, 10 excavators, including a 2021 Komatsu PC88MR and a 2018 Komatsu PC238, a 2017 Komatsu WA320-8 wheel loader, a 2003 John Deere 770 OCH motor grader, plus 4 backhoes, 3 reach lifts, and 4 boom lifts. There's 5 dump trucks, including a 2015 Peterbilt 367 Super Solo and 2 Western Star quad-axle roll-off trucks, and much more. Preview all equipment Tuesday, October 7th and Wednesday, October the 8th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our Marysville Yard, 3803 136th Street Northeast in Marysville. Get all details now at murphyauction.com. That's murphyauction.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event this Saturday, October 4th through October 19th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event starting this Saturday. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
You're miracle workers.
Don't know about that.
My drain was clogged.
Right.
You came in a jiffy.
And got right to work.
Now it's clear.
It's what we do.
Like I said, you're miracle workers.
Actually, we're plumbers.
Apollo plumbers.
You want to see some real miracle workers?
Huh?
Just take a look at Seattle Children's.
Sure.
They're all hope, care, and cure.
All true.
And together, we can help them.
How so?
Your service fee?
Yeah?
Apollo Plumbing is donating it.
To benefit Seattle Children's Hospital.
We're donating all our service fees.
All month.
To help Seattle Children's provide outstanding care and support research.
And ensure no child in need is ever turned away.
That's the goal.
Gotta love that.
Gotta love the work they do at Seattle Children's.
So, I call, you come.
Apollo donates your service fee. All our service fees.
All month?
All the way to $20,000.
That's so Apollo Plumbing.
Always ready, right now.
You really are miracle workers.
Aren't Aren't we all?
Maybe so.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
If you plan to use the carpool lanes along SR 167, you'll soon need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Having Good to Go always costs less than pay by mail. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Tom Hutler. The Trump administration canceling more than $1 billion meant for energy and manufacturing projects in Washington state, according to Washington Congresswoman Susan Del Bene, who claims it's part of the president's plan to punish states that didn't vote for him. Despite the government shutdown, Social Security services are still running, but you might see delays there. KIRO 7 TV's Brandon Thompson explains.
Sally Hanley helps people apply to get a Social Security number in order to get paid.
The longer it's delayed, the more it can inconvenience folks.
12% of the Social Security Administration staff is furloughed. Checks will still be sent. People can still apply to be put on Social Security and make some changes, but other changes and services will be delayed until the government reopens.
We have more information on how government agencies and services are affected by the shutdown at mynorthwest.com. Kevin Coe, the man known as the Spokane South Hill rapist, is being set free this afternoon, heading for an adult family home in Federal Way. KREM TV's Shannon Mowdy reports on that story.
Two separate experts recently concluded Coe, now 78 years old, is in failing health. A Department of Social and Health Services psychologist and another hired by the Attorney General's office say due to Coe's heart disease, limited mobility, and ongoing mental health issues, he's unlikely to reoffend.
The Mariners face off against the Detroit Tigers, Game 1 of the American League Division Series tomorrow night. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey caught up with some excited Mariners fans.
There is a buzz outside T-Mobile Park as the Mariners get ready to take on the Detroit Tigers in Game 1 of the ALDS. On the outside of the stadium, there's a 20-foot poster showing a countdown from 11 to 1. That's how many wins the M's need to win it all.
It almost feels like it's meant to be for us this year, just because with Cal's magical season.
First time in my whole adult life, it's amazing. I'm super excited.
I think the Mariners are winning it for sure. I mean, a Dodgers-Mariners World Series would be really cool to see.
Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
By the way, the Mariners took 4 out of 6 from the Tigers in their head-to-head matchups this season. Tomorrow night, first pitch 5:38. Now a look at KIRO News Radio traffic. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Tom. Seattle Sports has the update. Tacoma to Olympia at 45 to 50 minutes. The only backup is a 3-mile stretch through JBLM that starts as you approach Berkeley. Northbound 167, you've got a brief mile or so solid backup through Pacific. It's 10 to 15 minutes to clear this. North 5 into in Federal Way is crowded from Porter Way and Fife up to State Route 18. South 405, you're slow through Factoria now. Bellevue to Renton is a 20-minute trip. Heading into Seattle, South 5 is pretty heavy now. Northgate into the U District. Linwood to Seattle is up to a half-hour commute. And North 5 now packed from the Michigan Curve in the downtown. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And a weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Not bad at all. As we head into the weekend with a lot of sporting activities, we've got Sounders tomorrow night as well as the Mariners. Sunday, it's the Mariners and the Seahawks. And we're looking at some sunny skies, some sprinkles here and there, and highs today and tomorrow about 66 and about 68 with mostly sunny skies on Sunday. Currently 56 and partly sunny downtown. I'm Tom Hutler, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. You wouldn't know it by watching or reading any of the local papers, but there was a mayoral debate last night between Mayor Bruce Harrell and his challenger Katie Wilson in one corner, Bruce Harrell in the other. Actually, I believe they were just side by side on a stage. They weren't actually in a boxing ring.
They'd have to be on the same side of the ring, given that they're both far left-leaning candidates. The whole ring would tip over.
Well, Katie Wilson's even further than Harrell. So
she's on the top buckle. Ready to pounce.
I'll tell you what, she certainly looked like she was ready to pounce on him after he said this during a debate. And Jason Rance from Seattle Red 770 joins us now. Jason, welcome to the show.
Hello.
You have an interesting article. People should read it. Mayor Harrell last night was asked a pretty simple question. I'm gonna give you the question first, and then I want you to set up his answer, and then we will play his answer, just as a way to tease this out. Because I do ask the audience, 888-973-5476, often in debates, as we saw with Biden and Trump last year, as we have seen in many debates throughout history, sometimes there is a moment, oh, there you go again moment, or whatever the thing might be, where it feels like somebody has just made a colossal error or gotten them in some way. And I want to know from the audience, do they think that this felt like a big error for Harrell last night in this answer? But here's the question. Pretty easy question. Oh, if my audio was on, that's my fault. Here we go.
If somebody has offended 6, 7, 8 times, even if it's a minor offense, but they continue to fail to turn their life around, at what point do you balance public safety to giving this person, some accountability?
All right, we're talking about baseball right now, and this is a easy pitch right down center plate.
I think you have to change sports. This is a softball.
This is a
softball.
This is a professional baseball player.
This is T-ball
being served a softball. So it's 2 sports in one. He has the opportunity to hit a home run here and just say, you know what? We want to get those types of people off the street. If they're offending 6 or 7 times, something is broken down. These are all better answers. But Mayor Harrell went a different direction. Jason, tell us a little bit about that, and then we'll play his answer.
He went in the direction that can only be described as jaw-dropping and tone-deaf, and an indication he might not even have understood what it is he's talking about. Okay. It was this answer that we'll play, which starts off with an answer to a question that wasn't even asked. It's completely irrelevant to what was just asked. This is truly remarkable.
Okay. Now that you've heard the setup, here is Mayor Harrell's answer to that question.
What is that balance?
So let me make something very clear. I was the one that sponsored the ban the box legislation when everyone opposed it because the criminal system has had a disparate impact on black and brown communities. Let me
pause that real fast.
What does that have to do with any of the question that was just asked? Literally nothing. But this was, hey, it's criminal justice as a topic. Let me throw in some sort of claim of my progressive bona fides since I'm running against someone who's very far to the left.
Okay.
With that. So when this person is committing 6 or 7 crimes, I don't know his or her story. Maybe they were abused as a child. Maybe they're hungry. So my remedy is to find their life story to see how we could help first. I have no desire to put them in jail. But I need to protect you, and that's the calibration that we have. I put police officers on the stand. I've cross-examined them. So whether they...
So now he's cross-examining a police officer?
Yeah, I don't know why he
The question was
brought
about a
that
6 or 7 time offender on the street,
well,
not a police officer.
Well, it's even more simple than that, right? It wasn't just about an 8-time offender. It's how do you balance public safety with the 8-time offender? And so far,
he took into consideration that this person is, a repeat offender. He's still on the street. What about public safety? How do you balance
so he makes this one brief reference right there at the end, and that's I calibrate. And now he's going to continue to answer by still not even addressing the question of, well, how do you protect people?
Commit 7 or 8 crimes to me is not the issue. The issue is why are they committing these crimes? And so we have a health-based strategy. We authorized our fire department, for example, to be the first fire department in the country to administer buprenorphine. I want these people treated. So for me, it's not 7 or 8. It's how do I stop? How do I go upstream to find out what's in their life? But at the end of the day, I also have to protect you, and that's the calibration that we've done. And we are best practice in this country in doing it.
That's why I've introduced my new 9 strikes you're out policy.
But did he mention a single thing that actually protects us from that 8-person crime? Not this buprenorphine thing. That's nonsense.
I kind of can, as playing a devil's advocate for the mayor, I kind of think, okay, I'm addressing, the root, get upstream of the crime, of the criminal, find out why this is happening again and again. I think that in the most generous of explanations says, okay, I am worried about public safety. If I can stop this guy from committing crimes, incarcerating him isn't the only option we have.
Let me tear that to shreds for a moment.
Please do. That's why I threw it to you. It's a softball.
It really was.
And then can you let me tear it to shreds? Because
Yes.
I have a response.
I'm happy to be here for both of you.
This is just so insane to me that if the question was, how do we get to people before they become an 8-time offender? Okay, you can go ahead and make that argument. And there's obviously some benefit to going at the root causes of violence, blah, blah.
Sure.
We're already past that. This is the 8th criminal.
That was the fourth.
8th time.
That was the fourth attempt.
At some point, you do have to just simply say, you should care that it was 8 crimes, and you shouldn't care if he was hungry that day, because there are now 8 at least individual victims who have been, whose lives have been potentially
the shop
even
owner
ruined.
he stole from, the
law.
citizen he assaulted and robbed, whatever it might be.
No interest in hearing from that story. I want to hear the story of the person who had a break-in for the 8th time or an assault for the 8th time.
No, he's interested in this person's story, whether or not they were hungry. Did he say hungry?
He did say hungry.
Is he going to send firefighters out with apples? Is that what he's going to do? Make sure
we had a story in the week about serial shoplifters at a local, I think it was Federal Way.
Okay.
Right. And again, I'm not saying everybody who steals is hungry. A lot of them are just
They're usually
dirtbags.
not.
But sometimes they are.
Very infrequently.
Again, I'm trying to be as generous and as gymnastic as I can.
Reselling,
and I certainly concede that there are some. Okay, but that's not the problem anyone's really talking about.
Nor was it the question.
Yeah.
Spike, let me play you a clip.
Sure.
You know, from time to time, I like to use movie clips. And you said a second ago that so he's interested. What Harold is saying here is that he's interested in finding out more about the person.
Sure, I want to know what drove
him. He wants to connect with
them.
him kind of emotionally, following his heart.
Yeah.
On our very first day at Harvard, a very wise professor quoted Aristotle.
Yes.
The law is reason free from passion.
Yeah.
The law is reason free from passion.
Well
Spike.
played, my
he
friend.
He threw this in my face yesterday on a different story.
No, I countered an argument you made with another movie quote. Anyway, all in good fun.
Here's one more thing that I want to say. When I was listening to Harold talk, I had 2 thoughts about this. One, I'm watching Katie Wilson, and she's smartly just doing this, slowly trying to work her way off the screen. Now they were stationed. Their podiums, they were next to each other, but you can tell she was like, "Listen, when your opponent is doing something stupid, let them keep going."
Yeah.
And that was smart of her. Just keep your mouth shut. Just let him keep answering it horribly.
Especially since her views on policing are further to the left of him.
Yes,
but I have to assume she was smart enough to realize. Oh,
well, I know she was
God.
because we don't have a clip of her saying something stupid, which means he is the one who stepped in it. And then this is the other thing. As soon as I heard it, I went, "Oh, okay, this is exactly the clip I want to play tomorrow."
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
I mean, is there a more
that should be
perfect
carved in
time?
granite outside the tombstone of the mayor's campaign. I know we're almost out of time,
You're
but
right, 'cause
you
it
said
is
something,
almost
Jason
gone.
Rance, you said something very early in this, which kind of explains why he said what he said. Aside from the sheer stupidity and political idiocy of the moment, it's who he's going after in this election. If he comes out and says, I want to put him in jail, an 8-time offender would put in jail, those people are already voting for Bruce Harrell. When he's losing to a further left candidate, I think he was going after some of her potential voters with that open wound, open heart response he gave.
Which he's never going to get.
But it seems like the only strategy he's got available to him.
I totally disagree. If he went more moderate and said, I am going to go after these people, that's what he did the first time and got elected.
Yeah.
If he actually followed through with that, he'd be able to say, here's what I'm going to continue to do. But he can't do that because he's not throwing these people in jail. 8-time offender? Really?
Nobody's sitting there going like, "Oh, I wish I could find out what this person's backstory is." After 8 times,
well, not nobody,
including Bruce Harrell.
I know one guy.
No, you're right. No, he doesn't. Jason, you're right. And Spike, he doesn't believe that. That's the thing. Harrell doesn't actually believe that. He can't possibly believe that an 8-time offender.
I think he said to go after her voters.
He's kowtowing to
I just think that's a losing strategy.
I don't think you're wrong about that either, buddy.
If you're looking for a losing strategy, you can find it at the Harrell campaign.
Who's this consultant? I want to not hire that guy.
Well, it sounds like he still has access to City Hall, according to the Seattle Times.
You're right. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Don't miss a second of it. We'll be right back. Jason Rance, thanks for coming in, man.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Number 54, Bobby Wagner, linebacker, one of the finest of his generation. He set just about every tackling record that can be set. He was the heart and soul of one of the best defenses to ever play in the National Football League.
The Seahawks go for a 4th straight win, hosting Tampa Bay Sunday before the 12s. Kickoff at 1:05, pregame at 10 a.m.
Right here on KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
Hey, it's John Curley with some great news. If your home's heating or cooling is uneven, noisy, or expensive, listen up. The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump System from Home Comfort Lines is changing the game. It gives you room-by-room control and next-gen efficiency, so you're only heating where you need it. That means real comfort and real savings, and every Quilt system qualifies for max tax credits. Trusted for 50 years. Call the comfort people today at HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Vanity Fair calls BritBox a delicious streamer. Collider says everyone should be watching. Catch Britain's next best series with BritBox. Stream acclaimed new originals like Code of Silence.
You read lips, right?
And Linley, based on the best-selling mystery series.
Say hi, Linley. Take it from here.
And don't miss the new season of Karen Piri, coming this October.
You don't look like police. I'll take that as a compliment.
See it differently when you stream the best of British TV with BritBox. Watch with a free trial today.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event this Saturday, October 4th through October 19th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event starting this Saturday. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Many retirees are enjoying the retirement lifestyle, but not the high cost of living. We're here with our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage, who says a reverse mortgage may provide some stress relief.
If you're struggling with your mortgage payments or other bills, or maybe you just like some extra money, a reverse mortgage allows you to tap your home equity for tax-free cash. You've worked hard to build up that equity in your home. Now let it work for you. And best of all, you'll have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
But as you always say, a reverse mortgage is not for everyone.
That's right. Avoid the high-pressure sales pitch from those out-of-state call centers. I give you a consultation, not a sales pitch. I'll tell you if a reverse mortgage is right for you, and I always tell you if it's not.
Honest advice you can trust from the reverse mortgage experts. Best Mortgage, the VA loan experts and debt consolidation specialists too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Wellness. How do you practice it easily every day? At Olympic Hot Tub, we have more ways to achieve total wellness at home than ever before. Immerse yourself and let jets melt stress away in a saltwater hot spring spa. Swim in the privacy of your own backyard in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to cozy warmth and detox in an amazing Tilo sauna. Then awaken your mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Better you, better life.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Hey, this is Pete from Home Matters. Tune in this weekend when we'll talk with local business owners about everything in and around your home. Join us on Saturdays from 2 to 3 right here on KIRO News Radio or listen to the podcast on mynorthwest.com.
Cold is leaking and rats are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Welcome back to the show. Lots of stuff to get to. We basically got to nothing so far that we've planned. We do this whole thing where we plan the whole show. We spend all morning gathering bits and pieces, and then we put it together at 10 o'clock, and then we spend 2 hours just fine-tuning it. And then we remember that Tom Hutler's in the studio, and we spend the whole first half hour just talking about cool Mariner stuff, which ends up being better than anything we planned.
It's pretty great stuff.
Really great stuff. Although we do have a story. We got to do this in just a little bit. There's a housing facility for people who are homeless or have addiction issues, things like that.
Yeah.
Going into Redmond, Plymouth Housing. You guys heard of this?
I've heard it. Saw the story. Yeah.
Locals are not happy about it.
Never are.
And I want to get into this next hour because I think it's a really important story, but also it's not without precedent that the neighbors should be worried about this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there should be a procedure in place.
There
Absolutely.
should be, and to see who their new neighbors are, I think is going to shock you.
Yeah.
So we'll tell you a little bit more about that top of next hour. Okay, we have some good news for you. Just a few days ago, what was this, like maybe 2 weeks ago? This was a story that I found just charming because all the news that we cover all the time, all the stuff that teenagers see these days and are forced to feel like they have to have an opinion on, which I don't think they need to. Just live your small lives, kids, while you can before the world gets real big and demands that you have a reaction to everything.
Yeah, yeah.
These kids were out there protesting because of lunch schedule, which I love. They're not protesting a war in some faraway country that they're never going to visit. They're protesting a lunch schedule that changed. And I thought that was so small town, felt like something that happened in Mayberry, and I just liked it. This is the students who are upset because they have had at a few schools in Seattle, they have had one lunch period where they felt like they could meet, they could meet with their friends who they don't get to see throughout the day because everybody has different classes and periods and stuff. And they also had clubs during this lunch period. And then Seattle Public Schools said, well, we got to split that up. We just can't serve all you students in one period. We're going to divide the lunch into 2 periods.
It was a resource and safety concerns which led them to this new plan. And the plan was dropped on the kids on October 6th without any input from the September. September was 9th. It's starting on October 6th when the new implementation will come in. They didn't get any input from the kids, didn't bother to ask them their concerns.
Yeah, which they generally don't because they're kids.
They don't, but and the kids brought up valid concerns.
And the kids took to the streets.
They took to the streets a couple weeks ago.
And they marched out of school, and they marched to school district headquarters, and they sat down, and they had a luncheon, which is adorable.
What do we want? One life! What do we want? One life! When do we want it?
Lunch.
They need to listen to their students' voices when we want something done.
And we're hungry. Students talked to KOMO News at the time. This is nice.
SPS has not been able to provide a clear or consistent reason for why this is happening.
We will be able to not run clubs or intramural sports.
Activities like this are really vital for college applications and career readiness.
All right, so Students protested. Initially, the school didn't really make any changes, didn't do anything. And then we just saw this today, which I thought was really nice. They said starting Monday, October 6th, all Seattle Public Schools will have 2 lunch periods except on Wednesdays. So the protest got something. You don't always, great lesson for the kids. You don't always get everything you want. And so on Wednesdays now, they're going to be able to eat with their friends. They're going to have 1 lunch period.
Yep.
And I guess that's kind of a nice compromise.
Lesson for the kids on so many levels that you don't always get everything you want, but sometimes when you speak up, when you have an issue of concern, people listen.
Yeah.
It taught them the value of peaceful protest and being an activism element of their lives at a young age. It's great.
Sure.
I love it.
Sure. I'm not a big activist guy, but I like the idea that they're saying, hey, you know what?
You've got a voice. If you want to have a voice, make your voice heard.
Get comfortable expressing yourself.
Yeah.
Make a cogent argument like I think they did.
Yeah.
And they got what they wanted, kind of. Which is how life works. You kind of get what you want. All right, we got a lot more coming up. We're going to tell you about that housing project next. It's very interesting, especially if you're in Redmond. Stick around. Be right back.
The Northwest's trusted news source, KIRO Newsradio.
Police in Federal Way are investigating what appears to be a car explosion.
KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is live from the neighborhood.
I can't tell you enough how crazy this scene is here.
Coverage you depend on.
A massive police presence in Kent.
From voices you know and trust.
We have an active fire inside one of these buildings here.
KIRO Newsradio. On 97.3 FM, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions. Like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures. Until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive, so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey man, gaining weight, dragging throughout the day, losing your drive? It could be your testosterone. The team at Revive Men's Health Washington gets men back on track with the energy and drive they've been missing. Meet Tyler, Revive Men's Health Director of Operations and witness to hundreds of success stories.
I've seen guys come in worn out, discouraged, and just not themselves. A few months into treatment, they're standing taller, speaking with more confidence. It's like watching someone come back to life, like a light switch gets turned back on. When a spouse says, "Thank you, I really have my partner back, better than before." That's the moment it all clicks for me, and that's why I do what I do.
Since 2011, Revive Men's Health has helped more than 120,000 men regain their energy and drive. Start your story today with an in-clinic visit or a secure video appointment. Call 206-529-1111 now to book your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation. That's 206-529-1111 or schedule anytime at revivemenshealth.com.
Contractors and heavy equipment operators, get ready for a big one. The James D. Murphy Company brings you the huge Marysville Heavy Equipment, Contractors Equipment, Trucks, and Vehicles online auction. And bidding is underway now. On the auction block, 10 excavators, including a 2021 Komatsu PC88MR and a 2018 Komatsu PC238, a 2017 Komatsu WA320-8 wheel loader, a 2003 John Deere 770 OCH motor grader, plus 4 backhoes, 3 reach lifts, and 4 boom lifts. There's 5 dump trucks, including a 2015 Peterbilt 367 Super Solo and 2 Western Star quad-axle roll-off trucks, and much more. Preview all equipment Tuesday, October 7th and Wednesday, October the 8th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our Marysville Yard, 3803 136th Street Northeast in Marysville. Get all details now at murphyauction.com. That's murphyauction.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's CARS with a K to donate your car today.
1-877-CARS for kids. KARS Cars for kids. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
With Amazon Business, smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Christopher Cruz. Sean Diddy Combs is expected to ask a federal judge today to let him go home. The prosecution is asking the judge to sentence the rap mogul to more than 11 years in prison on his prostitution-related crimes. At the courthouse in New York, CBS's Jerika Duncan says one of Combs' most high-profile accusers has made her view clear.
In a statement from Cassie Ventura, the star witness in that 8-week trial, she said, quote, "I am so scared that if he walks free, his first actions will be swift retribution towards me and others who spoke up about his abuse at trial." So naturally, you're hearing from both sides. The judge will ultimately have the final say, and we hope to hear his decision in the coming hours.
There's word at this hour that Hamas has accepted some elements of President Trump's peace deal for Gaza. CBS's Ed O'Keefe says the group's announcement comes after Trump issued a Sunday night deadline for Hamas to accept the deal.
It seems that this is just designed to sort of remind people that Hamas is on the clock, and that in the president's view, Israel would have the right to go in and take further military action absent a response from the group.
2 Senate test votes to end the government shutdown failed today. From Capitol Hill, CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns says that means large parts of the government will be closed until at least Monday.
The House and the Senate are going to be out this weekend, most likely, and we won't have any sort of meeting until next week. They had this vote today. You basically saw a repeat of what we've seen all throughout the week. Senate taking the votes and the same amount of people voting for it and against it.
CBS's Jim Krasula says the shutdown could hurt those who are dependent on government funding.
Concerns are growing for many nonprofit groups that help people nationwide as the federal government shutdown drags on.
The challenge with a government shutdown is just that so many of our nonprofits provide essential services to our communities. And so when their funding is shut down or limited, it limits what they can do.
Beth Casey is a member of the board of directors of the West Virginia Nonprofit Association.
Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has fired the head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, Jeannie Marazzo. Last month, in an interview with CBS News, Marazzo criticized Kennedy.
He's dangerous because he ignores the evidence. And he appears to be driven by a desire to satisfy a need to tear things down.
Marazzo said she was silenced when she and her colleagues pushed back against NIH officials appointed by President Trump. The Dow has closed at a record high. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The South Hill rapist is headed to Federal Way. We'll tell you that story after we check in with Nate Connors from the KIRO Newsradio Traffic Desk.
Thanks, Tom. Tacoma to Olympia has spiked to an hour and 10-minute commute. We've got that 3 to 4 mile thick backup through JBLM that starts near Thorn Lane, and now another backup forming between Lacey and Olympia. Northbound 167, we're still seeing that brief mile or so backup through Pacific. It's 15 minutes to clear this. You can easily save a few minutes by hopping over to the West Valley Highway. Some drivers are heading over to I-5, and so North 5 is crowded between Fife and State Route 18. South 405, you're heavy through Factoria. Bellevue to Renton, still around 20 minutes. Heading into Seattle, South 5 is packed from Northgate into downtown. Linwood to Seattle will take you a half hour. Eastbound 90 is now packed from Island Crest Way over to the East Channel Bridge in our work zone. Outside of that, we're looking good. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Tom Hutler. It's 104. Some neighbors in Federal Way feeling uneasy about the arrival of the so-called Spokane South Hill rapist. Kevin Coe was released from state custody yesterday and moved to an adult family home in the city. KIRO 7 TV's Madeline Audley reports.
After 4 decades behind bars and in civil commitment, state experts say he no longer meets the criteria for that commitment as a sexually violent predator.
I'm like low-key kind of scared now because what if like he's going on a walk and like I'm going on a run?
Coe, now 78 years old, was convicted of 1 rape, but investigators believe he may be linked to more than 40 others in the late 1970s and early 80s.
Coe is confined to a wheelchair and in failing health. A statement from the Federal Way mayor says he's confident Coe does not pose a significant public safety risk. An Orcas Island woman is among hundreds detained by Israeli forces after a flotilla tried to break the blockade of Gaza. Jasmine Akita was aboard one of the boats that was intercepted on Wednesday. The flotilla carrying humanitarian aid was organized by activists from over 40 countries. Washington Congressman Rick Larson says he's in contact with Akita's family and is pushing for her immediate release. Well, there's going to be some news coming to Community Transit starting November 1st. They're going to roll out their revised rules of conduct aimed at improving safety on buses as well as at transit facilities. Updates include clearer enforcement guidelines, support from embedded social workers, and expanded coverage to zip shuttles in Arlington, Darrington, Lake Stevens, and Linwood. The agency also with a new security operations center and 35 transit security officers who are said to be on the way. It is now time for a look at your weather. It's brought to you by State Roofing as we take a look at the forecast heading into the weekend. Turned out to be a pretty nice day after the clouds this morning. A little drizzle here and there. Might see some spotty showers today, tomorrow. Sunday looks to be the best day of the 3 with sunshine, mostly sunny at least, and a high in the mid to upper 60s. Right now, 56 downtown. I'm Tom Hutler, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
So special.
Spike surprised me with that last hour. Yeah. Tom Hutler, obviously, he's in today doing new stuff, and you found him and you were like, hey, let's do a quick record and surprise Jake with it. I didn't even know that was going to happen until the very start of the show, 1 hour ago.
And that's just
it sends chills up my back because when I was a kid, there's nothing in the world that I wanted to do more than to play professional baseball and play for the Mariners. I loved it so much. I ate, slept, and breathed baseball. And as a kid, my parents would tell me, my dad, get out there and work hard every day, kid, and do, you someday you too can listen to Tom Hutler say your name as you head to the plate. And what he didn't tell me was you also have no talent for sports. So this is a problem. He wouldn't tell me that, although I'm sure, listen, a parent knows, a father knows. I had no talent for sports, and so very late bloomer. I was like 5'4" in high school.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, it's very short.
If I had to look at your high school annual, I would look above the crowd.
No.
I'd be looking at the tallest, where's the tall kid in class?
Look
no
down.
Kidding.
Yeah, I would look somebody square in the chest.
I blossomed sideways after high school, more than height-wise. I was this tall in high school.
It's just good to grow at some point. I was very short, very, very short.
I would never have guessed that.
People say I still present as a short person. They say when I meet you,
really?
No, I'm a tall drink of water now, folks. 6'2", 6'3" if I'm wearing a lift.
Heels.
Which I don't often do.
Oh, my goodness.
But we got a lot of stuff to talk about. It's not just all me dreaming about being taller.
Or playing short.
Or playing. Well, I wanted to play second base.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to take Joey Cora's spot.
Wow.
But it wasn't meant to be. But getting to hear Tom Hutler say my name like that, that's like a realization of a childhood dream.
Awesome.
I mean, would it have meant more if I was in the big leagues? Yes. But it's still pretty good. All right. There's a bunch of stuff we got to get to because we got to nothing in the first hour, basically. Although we hope you had fun. In Redmond, there are some folks who are upset. There's some locals in Redmond. They're upset because there is a new homeless facility going in downtown Redmond, prime real estate. I mean, right next to luxury, high-rise apartment buildings.
Yeah, new light rail station just down the block.
Light rail station.
Yeah.
Redmond's not a cheap place. It hasn't been an affordable, cheap place to live for probably 30 years since Microsoft went in there. How long has Microsoft been there? Redmond campus.
Yeah, 30 years. Or more than that, because when I moved here in '89, they were already established there. Just a few buildings at the time.
Yeah.
But they didn't have their own walkway over 405.
Yeah.
Or 520. It's 520.
Now they have their light rail.
Oh, they got light rail stations?
Doesn't really connect anywhere yet, but maybe someday. I mean, that's the goal, right? That's why you build it. So folks are upset. There's a public outcry because there is a new homeless facility going in called Plymouth. What is the name of this?
Plymouth Housing, right?
Plymouth. Is it just Plymouth Housing? Is that just the name?
Well, that's the organization putting this together.
I thought there was a more official name than that. Yeah, you're right. Plymouth Housing. It's just Plymouth Housing.
Mm-hmm.
So the motto that Plymouth Housing follows, which is why people in Redmond are not happy about this, it's a Housing First initiative.
Mm-hmm.
And the controversial thing about the Housing First initiative is they don't have any requirements for you to live there.
They have lax requirements. Lax requirements, and the idea is to have multiple amenities there with regard to mental health counseling, health services, harm reduction practices, which a lot of people aren't crazy about. You're right, though. It's not a clean and sober facility.
At their other facilities, this is not the only one that they have, Plymouth Housing. They say at their other facilities, you do not have to stop using drugs in order to live there.
Yeah, I wasn't saying that.
Yeah. To me, that would be like the bare minimum. If you're going to offer somebody free housing and you're going to try to help them get off the streets, which is the idea behind Housing First, right?
Yeah.
You want these people off the streets. You're inviting people into your community who, it doesn't sound to me, are serious about getting healthy.
And that's been the evidence at almost, I would have to say, across the board. Everywhere there's low barrier housing, these problems manifest.
My wife and I, years ago, before I really even knew what was happening in life, I knew enough to get married to my wife, so I was pretty smart already. But we went in and we were volunteering at one of these Housing First places. I didn't know it was a Housing First place. We just thought it was a women's shelter, but it was a women's shelter. And they don't require the women to get to be off drugs or anything like that. We didn't know that until we were touring the place before the volunteering. And we're being shown around and we're touring it. And we go into this one lady's room, and it was as if you had just taken her homeless outside experience and moved it indoors.
Right.
I was shocked when I walked in there. And my wife and I were both looking at each other like, this is the one they're showing us as like the example.
Right.
This is the one they wanted us to see, because we were there on behalf of the station. We were like, volunteering our hours.
I've been on similar visits to similar facilities. Yeah.
This was the one that they were holding up as, hey, look at how great things can be. And I was thinking to myself, there's bottles, there's just no barrier to getting in here. She hasn't changed her life at all.
Yeah.
This woman is not, and then I met the woman who lived there, not looking healthy, not looking like she was ready to move on to a better phase of life. And I don't know what happened to that woman. I have a guess on what would happen to that. What happened to that woman? That was about 12 years ago. In Redmond, they're not requiring these people to be clean to get in there. There are neighbors who are not happy about this. One of the neighbors is a person that spoke to, I believe they spoke to KIRO News about this. And I think we even have some audio of that. Let me pull it up here. But it was a neighbor who talked about this Housing First model not being something that they think is going to work. Listen to this. Can you unlock that story, Laura? It looks like it might still be locked up. All right, here we go. This is one of the neighbors talking. Cal Rosenthal. I got it.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, a nearby building owner talking about now being neighbors with this facility that just invites people who have very bad drug problems to live next door.
They're in supportive housing, but they're still doing drugs. If you had a family member and they were addicted and you brought them into your house to live, almost nobody would say to that family member, you can do fentanyl in your room, but just not in the living room.
Isn't that a really great point? And humanizes it in a way. These are people who have families.
Yeah. Well,
these are people who you want to see off the streets, and yet you're not requiring them to get healthy in order to be there.
Listen, I'm with you on all the downsides to low barrier housing. And as we mentioned, there's evidence almost uniformly across the board. Every example has drug problems, crime problems, death problems.
Yeah.
For families, everything.
Horrible.
what they're trying, I mean, I'm reading the permanent supportive housing is the definition of facility going in from Plymouth Housing here in Redmond. And they're saying it's, supportive, it's permanent housing. There's doing time limit on it. And by supportive, that means there's on-site nursing and medical care. There's behavioral health treatments. Substance use treatments are offered. Hospice care, veteran counseling, family reunification. All these things that I understand. I understand the dangers, believe me. And I understand the neighborhood's hesitancy to not have this next to, and it's not just the luxury apartments that it's squatted next to.
Tell them who else is across the street.
There's a daycare.
A daycare.
Across the street from this Plymouth Housing that they just broke ground on and denied public access to the groundbreaking ceremony. Yeah. It's also part of the story.
Now, to be fair, this groundbreaking, it was a private event.
It wasn't a public event, and media showed up to ask some much deserved questions.
I don't care that they didn't let the public in, but as a PR move, it's a bad move to not let the public in. It implies that you're trying to keep them out of the process and thereby indicating down the road you don't care what they think.
No, people think if you're hiding something, you got something to hide.
Yes, absolutely.
It's human nature.
So let me ask you a question. I'm going to play you a clip. This is from the president of Plymouth Housing. This is Karen Lee. She runs the whole thing, and she was talking about this new facility.
They have a disability. Many are veterans. They're in need of health care. And when they become stable, that's the first step to recovery and becoming better. It's about dignity, and it's providing the platform so that individuals can really rejoin our community.
I agree with many of the words that she said. She said veteran. Yeah. Great. For veterans who need help, fantastic. Help the veterans. Stable is another word she used. Sure. When people are stable and they're able to actually get past their drug addiction and start moving down the road to improving their lives.
Right.
Fantastic. But it doesn't have to be across the street from a daycare from Space One. They're starting at zero.
No, I hear you.
These people are completely still addicted to drugs.
It's the location. I'm with you about the low barrier housing, but I also see the value of getting somebody some stability, some access to counseling right on the location where you're living at. There's a lot of different things.
They're not living there. They're living there because the housing is there. And now they live there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They are. They're living there.
So put the housing somewhere that's not across the street from a daycare.
I'm not arguing with you there, buddy. I'm not arguing with you there.
I actually, if you want to just throw money away, if they can show some stats that show that Housing First has had a dramatic improvement in getting people off the streets and they stop actually being addicted to drugs, where are those numbers? We have seen that we've put, what was the number we had just like a month ago? Over the last 2 years, they've put like $2 billion.
$2 billion is the first number I
$2 billion into the homeless issue in Washington. And the number has increased by 25%. So whatever they're doing is not working. So my point is, if you're going to spend all this money, and I get public dollars on things like Plymouth Housing, then you need to have something that shows that it works. Or at least, if you're going to insist on this, it does not need to be near children and near private residences. If you had your kids in a daycare across the street from a place where now drug addicts are going to be invited into your community, what would you do at that daycare?
Pull my kids out of the daycare. Of course I would. And I guarantee the businesses around this new facility are saying the same things to themselves today.
Can you imagine that poor daycare who's already been there? I mean, they showed a picture in one of these videos here. I think we have some audio of this was Jonathan Cho, who does a lot of independent journalism. He was out taking some videos. And he's talking to not only the workers next door who are just about to complete a building that is a luxury high-rise apartment building. Good luck selling those. And he tilts the camera across the street to see this little tiny, play area that's for the daycare.
Are you looking for the Plymouth Housing?
When is this supposed to be done?
Plymouth is right here.
Who?
Plymouth Housing.
What's this one?
This is Amley.
What's Amley?
Just a private apartment complex.
So a private apartment complex is going to be next to a homeless hotel for drug addicts.
Yeah. Don't worry, they didn't know when they started that would be going in.
They didn't know, huh? You guys are just doing your job. Stay safe, fellas. Oh my gosh, that is unbelievable. So the construction crews here are building a private apartment complex going in right next to Plymouth Housing's complex here. This is the craziest part. You've got a children's daycare that's going to be just a few feet away from permanent supportive housing. Incredible. Gotta love it.
I would wonder if the city leaders in Redmond, I think we even have a statement from the city of Redmond who was asked about this.
Why? How did they pick that
KIRO
location?
News, how do you pick that location? You have private residences where obviously there's going to be children living there. And then also you have a daycare right across the street. And this was the response from the city officials in Redmond. They said, in Redmond, we are committed to providing proactive, comprehensive services to support our community members across different areas of need, including housing. We know that housing is more than
shelter.
About more than shelter. Sorry,
it's okay.
I don't read good. It's also about providing security, stability, opportunity, and hope. And as Redmond grows, so does our responsibility and dedication to ensuring housing for all income levels, including supportive housing like that provided by Plymouth, across the street from a daycare.
I think maybe they have a better location for the second step for folks.
Yes.
Not the first step.
Not the first step.
Yeah, I can't argue there, buddy.
I just don't think anybody in their right mind is going to want to live near or put their kids. Imagine walking. It's already hard enough to leave your kids at a daycare, right?
Yeah.
Every parent knows that experience. It's tough. It's expensive.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that they're in the safest hands possible. And to take nothing away from the daycare, they didn't know that this housing unit was going to go in next door. And now you're having to sit there with a low fence, big enough so the kids can't hop over. And you're going to go to one of these Housing First facilities and you tell me, are they staying inside the entire time? Are they locked in? No. Are they coming and going? Are they out front smoking, doing whatever they're doing? Of course. They're going to be on the streets around that area. And kids are right there. I don't even know how the city can approve something like this. Isn't there a bylaw that states that somebody in one of these
500 feet, right?
Wouldn't you have to be 500 feet?
I would think that seems to be, that's the common knowledge for, distance from a certain restrictive areas for people who have questionable track records.
This is the
or even more
distance
so
of
criminal.
one 2-lane road
Yeah.
separating this daycare from this new Plymouth housing facility. And I don't know how they justify that.
We should reach out to the city of Redmond, city officials, find out if those questions were asked and what kind of answers they provide. We should reach out to folks at Plymouth Housing. What are your requirements for someone with low barrier housing? This facility that doesn't require sobriety.
But they've been asking about that.
How'd they pick the place next to the daycare?
The community's not happy, and they shouldn't be happy. Yeah, over 100 residential units to some of the most vulnerable homeless people now living on the streets. That's who's going to be living there, right next to your kids.
And I'm with you. They deserve our help. They need help, but not
happy to give them help.
But where do you put this place? And this seems like the last place I'd put this place.
Also, when is this Housing First thing going to stop? When are they going to actually invest the money in something that works and gets? Isn't the goal to get people off of drugs? Not to say, hey, come in and do your drugs. Get them off of drugs.
Yeah, no, of course it's the goal. At least it should be the goal.
Don't you think that there's some people who've reached a point, like everybody always says when somebody's addicted to drugs, you have to arrive at a point where you're ready to make that choice. Nobody else can make it for you.
You have to hit bottom and surrender.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't you think, I think in Redmond they say in King County there's like 1,900 people who claim that they're experiencing homelessness on that East King County area. So that would fit into this, they would get these services, 1,900 people. Of those 1,900 people, are you telling me that there's not 100 of those 1,900, which is what, 5%, that you couldn't get to commit to saying, hey, we're going to give you a nice apartment. We're not going to charge you for it. We're going to get you in there, and you're going to be able to live and get the services that you need. There might be some small costs, but it's not going to be a ton. We're going to get you the services that you need. You're going to have on-site people. And the one thing that we're going to ask of you is that you don't do drugs. Why aren't those people bumped to the top of the list? Aren't those the people who are the most likely to be effective and get the help and then move on?
Right.
Because the idea is not that they live
resources.
there. You don't want to retire at Plymouth Housing.
No, you want to move on, move out.
You want a turnaround, right?
Yep.
You want people to get the help that they need and then get off the streets.
There's a saying in recovery, the people who are sick and tired of being sick and tired.
100%.
That's it. And you're right, of the 1,900, and there's more than 1,900.
Yeah.
There is.
For sure.
I'm guarantee you that requiring sobriety should be an element, especially going to pop it next to a damn daycare. I'm sorry. I'm with you.
You said it. Absolutely.
And I'm a bleeding heart. You know me. I believe in the element that, a clean, stable place off the streets, maybe showing you a better life than addiction. Maybe that's what gets you to hit bottom and surrender and turn your life over to a higher power, as the program likes to say. But, also, seems to be the theme of a lot of elements of the show today, public safety should be a factor in this for our governing bodies. When you're making these decisions to help these people in the dire straits among us, that's great, and we respect and appreciate that. But public safety is first and foremost your job and your commitment to the community that voted you in.
Yeah, you got to protect the kids. After that, You got to protect the people who are most likely to get help. Everybody's stretched thin.
Put your resources efficiently, effectively. Yes.
100%. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Next, we're going to be talking about what did we cover here, Spike? I forgot what we were doing.
We've blown the schedule all over the map. A couple things. We're going to save the plastic bag ban.
We're going to save the plastic bag ban.
We'll save that plastic bag ban.
Yeah.
It's Amazon's discount gas day. We could talk about that. It's coming up.
There you go.
I mean, cheap gas.
Can we do one other thing too, which I'm kind of passionate about?
Sure.
You know the Care Bear program?
I do. Yeah.
See the CARE program?
The one the mayor wants to double, if I'm not mistaken,
right? They want to double it, and they're claiming the people who are in charge of CARE, who are the people who want to go out in conjunction with Seattle Police Department officers. They're saying that SPD is actually getting in the way of them going out on these 911 calls and doing help. Yeah. Is it even a good idea to send these CARE people out? That's something that people are debating right now. We'll talk about it next. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO News Radio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM, powered by mynorthwest.com.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event this Saturday, October 4th through October 19th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event starting this Saturday. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Homes are sitting, but the bottleneck is about to break. Set yourself up for success by working with a team that doesn't just set up your listings and let it sit. The Novak team creates a marketing strategy that's hands down proven successful. Mike sold over 1,500 homes and guarantees to sell your home in 21 days. If Mike doesn't get your home under contract within 21 days, he sells it for free. That is no commission for Mike. Go to meetthenovaks.com. That's meetthenovaks, NOVAKS.com.
Contractors and heavy equipment operators, get ready for a big one. The James D. Murphy Company brings you the huge Marysville Heavy Equipment, Contractors Equipment, Trucks, and Vehicles online auction. And bidding is underway now. On the auction block, 10 excavators, including a 2021 Komatsu PC88MR and a 2018 Komatsu PC238, a 2017 Komatsu WA320-8 wheel loader, a 2003 John Deere 770 OCH motor grader, plus 4 backhoes, 3 reach lifts, and 4 boom lifts. There's 5 dump trucks, including a 2015 Peterbilt 367 Super Solo and 2 Western Star quad-axle roll-off trucks, and much more. Preview all equipment Tuesday, October 7th and Wednesday, October the 8th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our Marysville Yard, 3803 136th Street Northeast in Marysville. Get all details now at murphyauction.com. That's murphyauction.com.
Hey, it's John Curley with some great news. If your home's heating or cooling is uneven, noisy, or expensive, listen up. The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump System from Home Comfort Lines is changing the game. It gives you room-by-room control and next-gen efficiency, so you're only heating where you need it. That means real comfort and real savings, and every Quilt system qualifies for max tax credits. Trusted for 50 years. Call the comfort people today at HomeComfortAlliance.com.
If you're a veteran struggling with your monthly bills, VA loan expert Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage has some good news for you.
Rates have dropped recently, and this could be a great time for our veterans to think about a cash-out refinance to get out of your high-interest rate debt. For example, one of our clients had a 2.25% VA loan, but he owed more than $155,000 on credit cards and a home equity loan. So we paid off all of that debt and replaced his mortgage with a VA cash-out refinance. And the new VA loan saved him $1,268 per month.
So give us a call and see if a VA cash out refi can help save you money. And remember, with a VA loan, you can buy a home with no money down.
And you can help non-veterans as well.
That's right. If you have a conventional loan, we'll run the numbers and see if we can help save you money too.
Honest advice you can trust from the VA loan experts, Best Mortgage. Call now, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
You've worked hard, saved diligently, and now retirement is on the horizon. But will your nest egg go the distance? With rising cost and uncertain markets, there's no time for oversimplified plans. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
If you use the carpool or toll lanes along SR 167 without a good-to-go account, you'll soon receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. A good-to-go pass saves $2 on every toll. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. There has been a major breakthrough in peace talks between Hamas and Israel as Hamas now says it has accepted the proposal introduced by President Trump last week. Hamas posting online it's agreed to release all hostages and hand over authority of the Gaza Strip. The BBC's John Simpson has more.
What the agreement means is the effective end of Hamas as a power in Gaza in future. So it's trying to, dig its heels in on some of these things while, I assume, not wanting an all-out attack from Israel and with American backing.
No comment yet from the White House. U.S. senators once again failed to break the deadlock over federal funding. They struck down both Republican and Democratic plans as the government shutdown continues into its third day. Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
We saw the Republicans run the same play, and they got the same result. The question is, will they change course?
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
What's clear is that the Democrats' actions account to an intentional sabotage of our country and our people by shutting down our government. This madness must end.
And with no deal in sight, the shutdown will likely continue into next week. Turning now to the closing bell report, the government shutdown is preventing the release of the jobs data that was supposed to be released this morning. Analysts say the current picture of the U.S. economy is unclear. As we hear from Constance Hunter, she's a reporter with The Economist.
We are still, believe it or not, experiencing the long tail of the pandemic in some of our data. And so that comes through in terms of higher prices for a number of things in the services economy. And a lot of that is labor related.
At the close today on Wall Street, mixed results. The S&P was mainly flat, Dow up 238 and NASDAQ down 63. Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk with Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. We're starting to see that afternoon backups forming in all the usual places. Tacoma to Olympia is going to take you an hour, 5 minutes. So we've got a 4-mile backup through JBLM starting near Thorn Lane, and then another backup between Lacey and Olympia. Through Lakewood, North 5, it's bumper to bumper from State Route 512 up to South 84th. I haven't received any reports on any blocking issues. I'm not seeing anything on the cameras, but obviously we've got some sort of issue here. In South Hill, westbound 512, 12. You're heavy from the South Hill Curve over to Canyon Road. This looks like it's just volume. Both directions of the Valley Freeway are heavy through Pacific. South 5 heading into Seattle already heavy from Northgate into downtown. Linwood to Seattle, plan on a half hour. And southbound 405, you're bumper to bumper through Factoria. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Highs today in the mid to upper 60s, maybe a light shower or two, but we are staying mostly sunny this afternoon and mainly dry into the weekends. Right now, 63 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. Man, we just don't have enough time to get to everything today. I want to get back into, I think, a little hint for you. Mayor Bruce Arrow, last night, debate for mayor, obviously. He said one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in a mayoral debate, especially when there's only weeks to go before the election day. And so that's probably going to be my favorite audio of the week. I don't often pick audio from Friday to be my favorite audio of the week.
But when it stands out, it stands.
When it stands out, you got to do it. Yeah. All right, here's something else that people are talking about, which I find really interesting. I saw this article in Seattle Times. CARE. Do you know what CARE is? It's called the Community Assisted Response and Engagement Department.
Yeah,
are you aware of this?
I'm not just aware, I'm a big fan. I think there are many situations with law enforcement is asked to do things that they're not trained for with regard to dealing with mental health crises when they respond to a situation. I mean, don't get me wrong. Our law enforcement officers are well trained, but they show up at a situation where someone is being unreasonable, unmanageable, and oftentimes it's a mental health situation. Sometimes it's drugs, sometimes it's just a bad person, but oftentimes there are situations where trained therapists or social workers can help de-escalate a situation, can provide a calming influence in a moment where law enforcement may not be able to do so.
I hear what you're saying. I disagree, but I hear what you're saying.
I respect you listening. Thank you.
But so this is, and you came up with a great term for them. I'd never heard this before. You call them the what?
The Care Bears?
The Care Bears.
Care Bears. They are. They do.
They go out.
Yes.
And they meet
their
with
uniforms
folks.
should reflect that.
They should have bright, shiny pictures on their bellies, and they should. How does a Care Bear work? Do they sing a song and something shoots out of their belly?
It's past my time, I got to say.
You never knew Care Bears?
I know them. I had raised children in the Care Bear era.
Who's that coming from somewhere up in the sky?
Oh, God. This should be their theme song.
Right? Instead of a siren?
Hard.
Right? A step van with fun pictures on the side?
Just imagine this. Somebody's on the street doing a bad drug. They're doing a fentanyl. They're doing, I don't know what they're doing these days. They're doing coke. They're doing meth.
Maybe they're off their meds. Maybe the moment isn't.
It's usually drug induced, but yeah, they're they're yacked out of their minds. And instead of a police siren, gacked out.
Okay.
Is it gack or yak?
I'm lucky to say I don't know.
I think
but by the grace of God.
I think it is gack.
Gacked out, okay.
And you understand that as somebody who's doing what drug?
Oh, fentanyl?
Cocaine.
Cocaine? Is that cocaine?
I thought yak or gack was cocaine. I guess it doesn't matter.
I don't know.
They're tripping, man.
So long ago for me.
All right, these people are tripping, and instead of hearing a police siren, you hear this coming around the corner.
Who's that coming from somewhere up in the sky?
Oh, never supported them until now.
Moving fast and bright as a firefly.
Right? Pastel-colored vehicle rolling up on you?
Right? 100%.
Right? Soothing?
Somebody gets out of the thing, and instead of a police officer, you have one of these Care Bears.
Just when you think that trouble's gonna pounce.
Can you imagine,
just when you think trouble's going to pounce, right? You're expecting, yeah.
I've never been in a disoriented, drug-induced state. This is not my thing. But what are they seeing the world like when these guys show up? It probably sounds like this.
Something like this.
Who's gonna be there when it really counts? Do that Care Bears countdown and send a wish out through the air.
Wouldn't this be great? It's just fixing their problems.
And maybe that wish could be a blown sedative.
Actually, what you're hearing,
an airborne sedative.
What you're hearing is Narcan flying over the person. All right, so here's the story. I didn't realize that would fit so perfect. That was great, Laura. That was great. Here's the controversy. CARE, the Community Assisted Response and Engagement Department, They had a pilot program going. They have 24 of these people who go around. They're supposed to go alongside 911 calls with SPD officers. They don't go alone because you don't know. We talked about this a few weeks ago. You don't know what you're responding to. They want to start responding to 911 calls by themselves. Now, the Seattle Police Officers Union is saying, hey, we don't know how we feel about that.
Yeah, I would agree with them.
Because our job is to keep people safe. When you respond to a 911 call, you don't know what you're rolling up on. If it's somebody who's gacked or yacked out of their minds.
Right. Or off their meds and mentally unstable at the moment, not thinking or acting rationally.
Mentally unstable, whatever they're doing. If they're a danger to you and all you're showing up with is your Care Bear heart music.
Who's that coming from
and then somebody just attacks you because they're having some sort of a violent or drug-induced thing.
Or the community that the law enforcement is tasked to protect and serve.
So these care folks are now saying that SPD is actually, what is the word they use here? They say they're undermining the city's efforts to provide appropriate alternative response interventions. So this is a internal document that somebody got via FOIA. This is in Seattle Times. And you have the chief of care, Amy Barden, who's saying that leadership of the Seattle Police Officers Guild is obstructing them from doing their job, maybe obstructing them from doing their job. And they cite this by saying when the program first was implemented, like a little over a year ago, they only have 24 of these care responders right now. They had 80% of the time that they were sent out on calls, dispatched. Then Seattle police officers, 80% of the time, would bring one of them along. And then that number a year later had dropped to just 32%, with police officers waving off the help, she says. And so my question is the Seattle police officers who are maybe feeling like, hey, listen, we're responding to some pretty dire situations. We don't have time to babysit Care Bears at the same time. I think that's a valid question.
Okay.
And the care folks are saying, well, because Mayor Harrell, in his proposed budget for next year, wants to double our ranks. Remember the sales tax increase?
Sure. Yeah.
0.1%, raise $40 million, give the majority of that to this care program. They want to double the responders from 24 to 48, and they want to start responding to these 911 calls alone, which I think is folly. I think the police officers are a barrier between you and for the care people, the police officers are there. That person on the other end, I don't know if they're crazy. I don't know if they're off their meds. I don't know if they're having a drug thing. I don't know if they're a violent criminal. How are you able to determine that from a 911 call? You can't. And so you need that police officer there. You want that police officer there to be a barrier for you, to protect you.
Yeah.
But they want to do this and the community. They want to do this on their own and respond to these calls without police because they think that police are going to escalate the situation. What do you think about that?
I think it's a dangerous, risky thing to ask of the city. I don't think the city in good conscience can send out these. I understand the value that they can bring to certain situations, but the danger of not having trained law enforcement there on these scenes is too great a risk to ask. I really think it's just too much.
What's it going to take for them to realize this? Is it going to be somebody being injured?
Right. It's a good idea until it isn't.
Until somebody gets hurt.
It's all fine until it's not.
Yes.
And the consequences could be lethal.
Well, the consequences are really steep.
Yeah. Not just to the Care Bears, the care responders, but to the community.
Absolutely.
That's asking for a response or intervention in a heightened crisis moment.
Yeah. I think it's a really, we'll see how it plays out. We'll see.
I'd like to know why less of them are going out. Why the number dropped from 70-some to 20-some.
They're making the argument that they can do the police's job. They're saying we can do the job, and you guys need to step aside so that we can send Care Bears out. This all grows out of the defund the police thing. This is the alternative to that. This is saying that cops escalate situations instead of bring them down.
Yeah, you may very well be spot on with that. I like to think that these two should be complementary of each other and work hand in hand together. I would think that's the whole purpose of having a care team, is to respond. As I mentioned, there are moments when an officer's training isn't the appropriate training to deal with a certain situation, and that's when a care responder is appropriate. But don't send them out until you know. And you should never send them out without a licensed law enforcement officer there.
For years, before it became popular to want to defund police, for years, police were able to respond to these situations. Why can't they anymore?
Well, there are numerous instances where police responded to these situations and handled mental health crises inappropriately, sometimes violently, sometimes lethally. because they didn't have psychological therapeutic training that could have intervened.
There are millions and millions and millions of police responses all around the country.
Agreed. Oh, yeah.
Those are so few and far between. It doesn't mean that policing is thrown out.
No. I'm not saying that at all.
So to create an entirely new wing of 911 to send out Care Bears, why not just put all these people in a building somewhere, if you really want to do this, arrest the person who's doing the illegal activity, bring them to this spot and say, hey, now here's a person who can help you. We verify that you don't have needles, you don't have knives on, you don't have dangerous things that could hurt somebody.
Well, sometimes getting them into that arrested situation, taking them to help is what exacerbates a situation.
The situation was exacerbated when 911 had to be called.
Yes, oftentimes, yeah, but not always.
So then why are they calling 911?
Well, there's a guy who's rocking himself and yelling in the streets. Maybe he doesn't need handcuffs. Maybe he needs somebody to calm and talk him down who knows what to say.
In the majority of the cases, it's probably drug-induced.
I'm with you. In the majority of cases, you're right. We're
probably drug-induced, which is illegal.
24 Care Bears is all, and maybe doubling that. So it's not the solution often, but sometimes it is.
I totally understand why SPD is not super excited to have like Care Bears around them all the time.
Okay.
It makes sense to me.
Yeah, I don't think they go out on every call.
They want to. They want to go on their own calls.
Wow.
They want to respond by themselves. They'll be the new force of protection.
Fuzzy, warm, fuzzy force.
Fuzzy,
for
warm
good.
force for good in Seattle.
Who's that coming?
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. Be right back.
Moving fast and bright.
The Closing Bell is brought to you by Trajan Wealth Management.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
While you're getting ready every morning, make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah. Got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO News Radio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO News Radio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300. That's 206-656-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
This March, Wendy's is fueling the madness with amazing deals on their hamburgers made with fresh, never-frozen beef.
Like a juicy Dave's single for $1 and a fresh $2 Dave's double with in-app offer.
It's such a good deal, we wrote a little ditty about it.
Get it for $1. Dave's single, order in the app. Dave's single, get it for $1. Choose wisely, choose Wendy's, official hamburger March Madness.
Limited time offer. Participating U.S. Wendy's. See offer details and redeem at Wendy's app. Account registration required. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S. and Alaska.
Let's go.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
A men's health moment with Revive Men's Health.
Low energy, low drive, weight gain, and mood changes can all be signs of low testosterone. Since 2011, Revive Men's Health has treated thousands of men for low T.
Learn more at ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Announcing the Royal Corgis.
What have you done?
I wired pounds to London to buy Royal Corgis.
You went to the bank to wire money for Royal Corgis?
That means yes.
You are so dumb. Banks are slow and they hide all kinds of fees and transfers.
Those mutts.
If you want to send money overseas, use Wise. It's faster and never hides fees. Oh, they're fighting, just like the real royal family.
You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise. Learn more by visiting wise.com. T's and C's apply.
Welcome back to the show. All right, a couple of things to talk about real fast. One of them locally, one of them in Portland. Both has to do with naked people, so that's kind of, well, I would say fun, but not in this case. Everett, a guy was arrested in Everett. He tried to start a fire at 2 adult novelty shops. You can read about this at mynorthwest.com, or we can just tell you about it right now. Deputies received a report that somebody set the front door of the adult airport video on Airport Road on fire. 2 hours later, police were called to a separate incident where somebody lit the door of a sex shop called Love Zone on Evergreen Way. You ever been to either of these places, Spike? You know where they're at?
Officially, no.
Officially, no.
First off, I was shocked to find there was an adult video store still in operation. I think it should be registered as a historical, site. First off, I mean, a video store,
an adult video store
in 2025.
What year is it? That's unbelievable.
I'm not to be making light of arson. This is a dangerous person who was arrested, I believe, with a controlled substance in possession.
He was arrested,
right?
He was first-degree arson, burglary, obstruction of law enforcement, possession of a controlled substance.
Without a prescription, which means it's pills.
Without a prescription. Yeah. It reminded me of this.
He hates these cans! Stay away from the cans!
This guy hates doors. There's two possible things here. He either hates sex or he hates doors.
Or both.
Or both. And so that's why he did what he did. But thank God they got him off the street, which is good. And then speaking of on the street, did you see this story down in Portland?
This is so Portland. No story has ever said Portland.
This is the most Portland story of the day.
It really is.
Yeah, which could be a new segment on the show, actually. Most Portland story of the day. You have the organizers of the World Naked Bike Ride said that they were going to pedal their way up to, I don't know where they're from. They're going to pedal way there through Portland as a way to protest Trump sending National Guard troops in to defend the ICE facility. They're going to...
They're unarmed.
Instead of defending ICE, they're going to offend everybody in Portland by riding naked.
The best defense is a good offense.
What do you think this is going to be effective in keeping the Trump administration out?
No. Come on. This is so Portland. This is so
I think they just
Portland.
want to be naked. I think they just want to ride bikes naked.
I think there's cameras ready. There's cameras present. They've got an audience. They want to show off. That's what anybody who does a naked bike ride. And I love that they do this. That's wonderful.
You love it?
That's good for them.
Oh,
it's a good time to do other things with the kids, right?
Gross.
It drives commerce and transportation.
There's no kids around here.
It drives foot traffic away from this corridor.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about traffic in this area. Here's a question for you: naked cyclists. I assume these are not all women.
No, there's
It's
both.
probably predominantly men, if I had to take a guess.
You'd be surprised. It's pretty evenly split, if I may make the pun, with the seats in question.
Well, that's my question about the seats.
Yeah.
You're a fella and you're riding around naked.
Uh-huh.
Is it a specially designed seat? What's going on there?
No, it's a dangerous situation.
It feels
I
like
can
you're
honestly
it
tell
feels
you.
like a risk versus reward situation.
Yeah, high risk.
High risk.
Low reward for the rest of us. High risk for you, low reward for the rest of us.
Yes.
Which seems like a lose-lose.
Why would they do this? I mean, they really must passionately hate Trump, and so that's why they're doing it?
Or, they maybe they're just big on states' rights and state sovereignty. Who knows what motivates them?
You and I agree on why the National Guard's in Portland, though.
Yeah, I agree.
We agree that they can defend ICE. There's nothing. They're not sending them in to clean up the city
or landscape. None of that stuff. I'm with you. Yeah.
But the naked people, you know what would be nice? The naked people who are riding through Portland, pick up some drugs while you're there. Get them off the streets.
Oh.
Clean it up a little bit.
You
don't have pockets to shove stuff in?
Yeah.
Maybe like wear a backpack or something.
Sure, something. Maybe drag a rake behind your bike.
Yeah.
Right? And just tow it as you go.
There you go. Something. All right, we got a lot more coming up. We're going to do a special guest coming in with us next, Chris Sullivan. This is going to be a perfect storm of sports fun and traffic this weekend in Seattle. And so if you have any interest in coming downtown to go to either the Sounders or the Mariners or the Seahawks, then you're going to want to tune in to hear about the best way to get around. So we'll have that one coming up back next. Be right back.
Touchdown Seahawks!
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Number 54, Bobby Wagner, linebacker, one of the finest of his generation. He set just about every tackling record that can be set. He was the heart and soul of one of the best defenses to ever play in the National Football League.
The Seahawks go for a fourth straight win, hosting Tampa Bay Sunday before the 12s. Kickoff at 1:05, pregame at 10 a.m.
Right here on KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167, some things are about to change, and some things aren't. If you ride without a Good-to-Go account, you'll receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. Having Good-to-Go means it'll cost less than pay by mail. Not a change. Carpoolers will need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. A Good-to-Go pass saves you $2 on every toll. No change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com. Free Flex Passes while supplies last.
Cancer impacts so many families, including mine. Former Washington Husky Mario Bailey here. My mother was treated for cancer at UW Medicine. As devastating as cancer is, there is hope, because the Cancer Vaccine Institute is developing vaccines to treat and prevent the deadliest cancers. Patients who received vaccines over 20 years ago are still alive today. Please join me and make a donation to the Cancer Vaccine Institute at local Safeway stores. Learn more at uwcvi.org.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
If you're a veteran struggling with your monthly bills, VA loan expert Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage has some good news for you.
Rates have dropped recently, and this could be a great time for our veterans to think about a cash-out refinance to get out of your high-interest rate debt. For example, one of our clients had a 2.25% VA loan, but he owed more than $155,000 on credit cards and a home equity loan. So we paid off all of that debt and replaced his mortgage with a VA cash-out refinance. And the new VA loan saved him $1,268 per month. So give us a call and see if a VA cash-out refi can help save you money. And remember, with a VA loan, you can buy a home with no money down.
And you can help non-veterans as well.
That's right. If you have a conventional loan, we'll run the numbers and see if we can help save you money, too.
Honest advice you can trust from the VA loan experts, Best Mortgage. Call now, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Christopher Cruz. We begin this hour with breaking news. A federal judge has sentenced Sean Diddy Combs to just over 4 years in prison on prostitution-related charges. Prosecutors had asked for 11 years. CBS's Jerika Duncan says the judge didn't mince words in describing Combs' actions.
The judge had some very sharp words in response to Combs. He acknowledged that he is trying to do better and told him that he hopes that he continues that, but instantly went into rejecting attempts to characterize what happened as, quote, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. He said you abused your power and control you had over women you claimed you had loved. You abused them emotionally and physically. He said the evidence was massive.
Just before his sentencing, Combs told the judge his past behavior was disgusting, shameful, and sick. Hamas today released a statement saying it has accepted some elements of the peace deal for Gaza put forth by President Trump.
That would appear, if it's interpreted as such by the White House, to stave off the threats that the president made earlier today in at least the social media space, saying that Hamas had until 6 p.m. Eastern on Sunday to accept the terms of this or face consequences, and all caps saying there would be peace in the Middle East one way or the other.
CBS's Ed O'Keefe. The Supreme Court has allowed the Trump administration to strip protections from more than 300,000 Venezuelan migrants. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said today U.S. forces have struck another small boat off the coast of Venezuela, believed to be carrying drugs to the United States.
This is the fourth deadly American strike in the region. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt called this action entirely justified.
The vessels have been assessed by the U.S. intelligence community to be affiliated with designated terrorist organizations engaged at the time in trafficking illicit drugs to our country.
This latest U.S. military strike killed 4 people, on top of the 17 killed in the 3 previous attacks. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Test votes in the Senate on ending the government shutdown failed today. CBS's Stacey Lynn has been watching the action on Capitol Hill.
As expected, the measure failed to advance on a 54-44 vote. There were 3 Democrats who voted yes, the same who have voted yes the last 2 times. And again, Senator Rand Paul was the only GOP member to vote no on the bill. The chamber's adjourning for the weekend, so the next chance for a vote isn't until Monday.
Recapping, Sean Diddy Combs has been sentenced to 4 years and 2 months in federal prison on prostitution-related charges. The Dow closed up 0.5% today, ending the day at 46,758, a record high. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit Progressive.com.
Gearing up for Game 1 of the Mariners playoff run. Coming up after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. The Emerald Queen Casino has our update. It's quickly getting busy out there. Here are some of our bigger backups at the moment. South 5 heading into Seattle, already jam-packed from Northgate to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, a 40-minute commute. North 5, you're doing okay. Just a little crowding at the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. Seattle and Bellevue to Everett will take you 40 minutes. North 5 in Everett filling in between the Boeing Freeway and Highway 2. Then you'll catch a nice break, a little more slowing as you head into Marysville. Here's the deal. We've got some good news for our drivers along that stretch. The new I-5 State Route 529 ramps are now open, so this should offer some relief between Everett and Marysville. South Hill, westbound 512, still heavy from that South Hill curve over to Canyon Road. And North 5 through Fife is heavy from 54th up to State Route 18. Tacoma to Federal Way has about a 10-minute delay. The Emerald Queen Casino is the entertainment capital of the Northwest, the best place to watch all your favorite sports. Featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, kiosks, and more. Be there at emeraldqueen.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Another student has been arrested this morning for carrying a loaded gun on a school campus. This time it was a 14-year-old in Pierce County. More from KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
This latest incident happened at Spanaway Lake High School. Deputies say the gun fell out of the boy's waistband inside the school, and he was reported by another student. The school went into lockdown, and deputies arrived just 3 minutes later. Here's Pierce County Deputy Carly Capetto.
Trying to apprehend him, they got into a struggle, and while they were struggling with the student, a firearm falls out of his waistband.
The student is expected to be charged with unlawful possession of a firearm, obstruction, and resisting arrest. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Some Federal Way residents are expressing concern over the arrival of a notorious sexual predator. The so-called Spokane South Hill rapist, Kevin Coe, has been released from state custody and moved to an adult family home in Federal Way. Neighbors tell KIRO 7 TV.
My initial reaction is, I guess, eyebrows raised.
I am concerned because there's kids here, especially my kids. They walk through the bus stop.
The state says Coe, now 78, is unlikely to reoffend. He is in failing health and has limited mobility. It'll be a packed house this weekend at T-Mobile Park, where the Mariners are hosting Game 1 of the American League Division Series. The M's communication manager Adam Gresh says it's been a busy week getting the ballpark postseason ready.
It's all hands on deck, so you can see the postseason logo behind me. The field is in great shape. Our grounds crew has been hard at work.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey speaks to fans outside the stadium.
On the outside of the stadium, there's a 20-foot poster showing a countdown from 11 to 1. That's how many wins the M's need to win it all.
It almost feels like it's meant to be for us this year, just because with Cal's magical season.
First time in my whole adult life. It's amazing. I'm super excited.
I think the Mariners are winning it for sure. I mean, a Dodgers-Mariners World Series would be really cool to see. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Well, Game 1 against the Detroit Tigers is set for 5:38 tomorrow night. Listen on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports. Now to your forecast, brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly cloudy skies today, highs in the mid-60s. Cloudy for tomorrow morning, and then partly cloudy skies, along with a couple scattered showers for Saturday. Right now, 63 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. Very excited to get this guy in right now. Chris Sullivan joins us now. Chris Sullivan, welcome to the show.
Hey, it's great to be here. Happy Friday.
It's great to have
Feel
you.
the buzz in the air. Woo, Seahawks, Mariners. Woo.
See the brake lights in your windshield? What a weekend.
Good luck into the game, suckers.
So we had you on to talk about traffic because it's a perfect storm of events happening this weekend. We got Seahawks, we got Mariners. I think we have Sounders as well.
Tomorrow night too, yeah.
Very, very busy. A lot of stuff going on. But to the point you were saying a second ago, there is a palpable feeling right now in the air. Oh, yeah. This is playoff baseball. People are very excited about it. What's it felt like to you guys? Chris, let's start with you.
Well, again, since I wasn't here in 95, I was still working down in Portland. Seattle's a great baseball town when the team's doing well. And when the team does well, the city gets this little energy to it, gets this vibe with it. And I think what I'm feeling this year is because the team did so well and ended the season so well and has chances to maybe do something special.
Yeah.
We're all kind of like, I guess it's really okay to be excited. So there's a palpable kind of like, wow, we could do something special right now. And the Seahawks are doing really well too. And you just combine it. The weather's great. It's amazing. It's
Everybody
unreal.
gets excited around here when it gets to fall. We're all putting on sweaters and drinking hot coffees.
I'm putting on our Mariners sweatshirts is what we're putting on.
Heck yeah. Have you noticed this, Spike? Have you noticed just the feeling in the air is different? Not the fall, but the sporting.
The ball game thing. To Chris's point, the way the M's closed out the season, this isn't like I was around in 95, I was around in 2001, I was around 2 years ago when they made the postseason. But this feels different because of the what they gave us down the stretch in September was literally historic.
Yeah.
I mean, very few teams have ever had a run like the M's had in the last.
Was it 17 of 18?
17 of 18
down
going
the stretch. Into that Dodger series.
Sweep away the long hated Astro regime of Houston.
Yeah.
And I drive by a lot of kids going to school in the morning by the time my commute leaves after 8 o'clock in the morning. And I mean, everywhere you go, every bus stop, middle school, elementary schools, the high schools, there's blue and green out there, man. It's everywhere. It's fantastic.
I would have been 11 in the 95 run. It was so much fun. Everybody was watching. Everybody cared about it.
Teachers let you wear your ball caps into school like they never had all year long, right?
Yes.
Right? Seriously.
It feels like a Christmas feeling.
It really does.
And for decades, we have not been able to have this excitement heading into October. They just haven't been a team that have been competitive like that. And not only are they competitive, just like you were saying, Chris, they're dominant, and they're favored to win the World Series the last time I checked.
You can't say that.
Higher highs, guys, bring lower lows. There's a great piece of the Times. If you haven't read it, read it today.
Yeah. But that's okay. That's the fun part of sports.
Exactly.
But it would be nice to pay off
Yes.
Historic. Because, 2 years ago, 2022, we barely got in and no one had any expectations. Now our expectations are through the roof.
Let me ask you this. What would you be willing to give up? Or what would you give to see your team win a World Series? Great piece and mentioned in the Times. They did a study with sports fans. What would you give up to have your team win it all? Right? Well, I think it was like 70% said they'd give up a paycheck to charity.
Okay.
If they could have their team win a World Series, right?
Yeah.
47% said they'd donate an organ. They would donate. I'm serious. This was a clinical study
Seems like
of
a lot.
sports fans. 47% of those questions
was
said
it a clinical study of crazy people?
Of sports fans, of people who define themselves as dedicated sports fans. So they would give up an organ to have their team win it all. Ask a Seahawks fan what 2014 felt like.
Yeah.
I mean, and when we won it all, the 250,000 people downtown for the parade.
Did you see that story yesterday about how Seattle's infertile, like the second most infertile state?
Yeah.
So I know which organ they'd give up.
10%. 10% said they give up a finger.
That's a lot.
To have your team. Well, you don't use some of them.
Which finger?
I guess you get to pick.
You could get rid of a pinky. I guess.
Right?
No. I need the pinky for my golf swing, so I take away my ring finger on my right hand.
True golfer
It's
here,
important.
people. No, the ring finger of your non-married hand. That's the one you go away.
Go thinking back, I would have given up an organ had Tommy had won either one of those two national championship games that they lost.
Right,
for
fair.
football.
Yeah,
I would have given up a finger or an organ.
That's your own son, though. I feel like that makes more sense to me than somebody giving up an organ.
Not sure anybody wants part of my liver or my kidneys, considering what's been run through them.
This is price to move, they say.
I'm not sure what's valuable in my body at this age that's left anymore. No.
We're in
Certainly
the
not
same.
my eyes.
We're in the same boat.
HR told us not to say this, but Chris, you've got a beautiful body.
Would you hold it against me if you said
Please
that?
no. Please no.
Getting back to traffic this weekend.
Okay, tell us
about
traffic. Unless you have any organs you'd like to volunteer.
Me?
Well, you just got your eyes fixed, right?
I just got them fixed, so they're off the table. No, but I would lose a finger. I would lose a finger for a Mariner World Series. I honestly would. I honestly would.
Here's the thing about a World Series. I just don't know what that feels like.
No,
right.
I don't know what it feels like.
I do.
And
I do. It's been 42 years. Wait a minute, it's been 42 years.
Brooks Robinson was still 30.
I remember when Cal Ripken and Eddie Murray beat the Phillies, and we gathered. They
Good
won on the
stuff.
road, and that night
Spike's
at Memorial
from Baltimore.
Stadium,
He's from Balmer. He probably didn't know
Balmer. There was 100,000 people at the stadium at 11 o'clock at night. Hon, it was awesome.
Awesome.
but you're right though. This city's never been there.
No.
When the Seahawks won the Super Bowl, I remember being in the room. We watched it from we were all over at every game that season, every single game. We went over to my parents' house as a family, all the different people, all the kids are married now and have their own kids. And we all met every Sunday and some Thursdays and whatever, Monday nights. And we watched the games together. And it was it was like this building pressure toward the end of the season. Then they finally get to the Super Bowl. And then when they are dominating one of the best quarterbacks in the history of the game.
Most prolific offense in NFL history, that Denver Bronco team.
He was set records. That's unbelievable. Yes. And then when the Seahawks just annihilated them, there was such a release. We're sitting there watching, euphoric, as we're like, how is it possible that the Seahawks are this good? It was just this great explosion of energy that was happening.
Right.
And it happened with everybody in Seattle and around the Pacific Northwest.
Yes.
I think it's even more so with the Mariners. If they made it to the World Series and they won the World Series, because you have I don't know if it would last 7 games, but you have a series.
Right.
And then it just ratchets up.
Yep.
It's more than just the one game.
Nuts.
It's going to be very exciting.
It's going to be amazing.
I just hope they make it past this first playoff series.
Yeah.
We know that the first game is what, 5 o'clock?
5 o'clock Saturday, 5 o'clock, 5:30 Saturday, 5 o'clock Sunday.
5:30.
Yeah, the Detroit games.
Then they head back to Detroit.
Yes. Yep.
And then
if it gets
game
to 5,
4 in Detroit, and then game 5 back here.
If it gets to 5, it'll be Friday the 10th, and we don't know what time yet.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Oh, okay, Friday the 10th?
Yeah.
You know what else is happening on Friday the 10th?
At, what is that? There is something big. What is it?
Well, Revive I-5 starts. Perfect. But there's also a Husky game that Friday night.
Rutgers is here.
Rutgers, yeah. You should know that.
Yes,
New Jersey,
Rutgers
is here.
I'm working
at
that
Montlake. So
this is perfect, and it gets us into traffic.
Finally.
So this weekend, Chris, you're here.
Okay.
Tell us about traffic.
Well, good news is Sound Transit announced today Sounder service, the hard rail, is going to be open not just Sunday, but Saturday. They're going to run trains both days. And that's an option if you've never used it, that you can get on down like in Puyallup, you can get on in Everett.
Yeah.
And you could take the fixed rail, drops you right there at King Street Station.
Which is closer than the light rail.
Yeah, it's relatively
Awesome.
inexpensive.
And faster.
And so that's a really good option for you if you've never tried it. Those parking lots also have more space than the light rail. You're going to take light rail? Great, I get it. Trains are going to be packed. The further to the outside of the spine you can get on, say Angle Lake or up in Linwood, the more possibility you get a seat on the train, but not necessarily parking. We've talked about how those parking lots fill up really quickly at the park and rides. Here, a couple of hacks that people have been telling me about. Go park in short-term parking at the airport and take light rail from the airport.
That's a trick.
That's smart.
If you're coming up from the south end, you could find a relatively inexpensive 5-hour spot in just a regular lot you might use if you were taking a day trip by plane. Do that, then catch light rail from there. You don't have to worry about trying to find parking at a light rail station.
You know what you could even do? You could even park at one of those offsite,
You could, totally, yes.
Where it's $5 for the day.
Something like that, totally.
Yeah.
So think about that. If you're coming up from the south end, that's something that you could really think about to get your car all the way out and a light rail without something you do. So that's a good one.
From the north end, by the way, limited availability. But if you text the station and book a time with me, I'm offering $20 spaces at my house, concierge service to the North Shoreline light rail with bottled water in car.
Wow. Okay.
Spaces are limited. Text now.
I like that. That's a really good idea.
Do we have to give some sort of a legal thing that you're joking?
I've got that covered.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the 35 years of me blowing smoke up their skirts. They know.
And even if you are,
we're going to get texted.
Yeah, you will. I might call you. Spot Hero, like an app that you might use to buy parking in advance. Those are even through the roof. Like the slots that I would buy during the season that were like $35 for parking, they're now running $100, $150
for postseason pricing.
Right. So, I mean, the parking's not going to be easy even for those things that you do on the front end. Now, if you have a military ID, here's one that I found out today. Not a lot of spaces, but you could park for free at the Coast Guard office.
Really?
Right there next to the stadium.
You're kidding
If you have a military, apparently this has been going on forever. because they have a PX there.
Let me stand up when you say this.
Yeah, they have a
out of
PX.
respect.
They have a few spots in the main lot there that are open from 0800 to 2200. That's 8 a.m. to 10 p.m.
We
for those of you keeping track. Yeah.
I like this.
And you could park there if you have a legitimate legal military ID. There could be a spot for you there just south of the stadiums there at the Coast Guard lot off Alaska.
That's a great idea.
Again, not a lot of spots. I'm sure people know about it because it's on the Coast Guard website. But
Do
still,
you
it's
have
kinda
time,
interesting.
because the first game is tomorrow, right, 5:30? Do we have time between now and then to join the military? Be issued a
Well, when they
card?
set the temporary card.
No.
I tell you what, during a government shutdown, if you can get a military ID in a couple hours, you're living well.
Damn you, shut down.
Yeah, the shutdown's it's starting to impact me now.
Now, see, now you care.
Now
you
care.
Yeah.
No, so those are options. And then the other thing I would do if, I don't know how many people can afford or are going to both games, like on Saturday, like on Sunday, to be able to do that. If you're going to the Mariner game and you don't want to get caught up in that, maybe head down with the Seahawk crowd, park somewhere in the middle of the city, and spend the day with your family on the waterfront.
Drop
It's
a few of
gonna be
those bucks for
beautiful day.
the regular folks.
And just hang out there and then walk over halftime of the Seahawk game, spend the day down there, maybe a little bit, enjoy the city. There could be tons of people out. Just imagine the vibe down there with everybody going crazy on that day.
How many people are expected to come into town?
Well, if you think about it, Lumen holds close to 70.
Right.
For the Timbers and Sounders game tomorrow night, they hate each other, so they might have more than the typical
rivalry.
40.
It's going to be a massive.
So
crowd
they might
for
have more
Sounders
than the
game.
typical 40,000 that they usually have for the MLS games, and then of course you got 47 at T-Mobile. So that's more than 120,000 people. All in that little kernel of our neighborhood down there. That's a ton. Plus a bunch of people who are just going to go down to be there.
Yeah, I just want to be around that
hanging
cool
out
atmosphere.
down there, and just we could hear it, and it was great. Yeah, it's going to be difficult. The good news is there's not a lot of construction this weekend. The biggest issue anyone's going to have probably are people who live on the east side who are going home tomorrow night primarily, because they're still doing expansion joint work on Mercer Island, eastbound I-90 only, and they're going to have significant lane closures overnight as they finish that project. It finishes Sunday morning.
Okay.
So this shouldn't be an issue Sunday night going home from the Mariner game, but there could be an issue tomorrow night to keep an eye on going east on 90 across the lake.
Was that predetermined because was a Seahawk home game already scheduled that weekend? Is that why it ends Saturday?
No,
Sunday morning?
This is the project that that started a week ago Thursday. So this were like 16, 17 days of work that got pushed by Revive I-5 and a bunch of other things. Yeah. So they got it done when they could. I think it just happened to marry up to the fact that it ends only impacting one of the two weekend nights for these games.
Can I ask you guys a quick question now that we've moved off of traffic? Did you guys see that the Mariners are putting out a new menu options for the playoffs? Did you guys read this?
I read it.
Yeah, if you could afford $1,200 for tickets, I'm sure you can afford to buy crab legs and caviar.
Let me ask you this real fast. I'm just going to run through some of these that they have and see what you guys think about this. In a commemorative helmet, which is fun. I remember getting those as a kid. Usually it was like ice cream.
Yeah.
There you go.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. But this one is it pre-cracked? What did they say these were? They were like pre-shucked. I don't eat crabs. So I don't know how this works. But the legs are piled high, and then on top of the legs there's caviar, and on top like a caviar creme fraiche, which to me is not something that I would go in for because I'm allergic to shellfish.
Sure.
Also, when you finish eating it, what are you supposed to do with that commemorative helmet? It's just like covered in butter and crab grease.
Yeah.
Do you take it to the bathroom? Are you washing it in the sink?
That place is going to smell so good come Monday morning.
Can you imagine?
Well, just imagine if it wasn't pre-crab, you got the legs. I'd be using those to hit my brother with. Whacking people with the kind of like with that Trident cup that they gave away earlier this year.
Now they don't say how much that these are going to cost. I was looking for the price of this. I can only imagine if it's crab legs, it's got to be at least $30, right?
That's what I've kind of heard. It's in the $30 range.
Market price. Have you ever gone to a concession at a ballpark? I'll take the market price filet mignon. Market price?
They're
it's
being
a ball game.
Surge priced.
Yeah.
It's not
your
the
bag
70.
of peanuts is now market price. What is that? $40. Okay.
Isn't there a reason that some of these foods work? There's classic foods at a ballpark because you can enjoy the game and you're not being totally distracted by your food. Like,
yes.
A value dog at the T-Mobile is great. It's like $3.50.
$5 beers up top on the deck.
Yes, less than $10. You can get a beer and a dog.
Beer. Beautiful.
Fantastic.
That's baseball.
But you sit down next to somebody who's got piled high of crab legs. This is not a usual Mariners fan who's probably coming here. It's probably I don't want to.
What's the weather forecast? Because then the fur coats come into play, and that's going to be a different.
And then come the birds. And then come the gulls.
Oh.
Do you imagine that? There are already seagulls out there because you're on the waterfront. Just
sure. You know how many gulls are addicted to garlic fries in this town because of that stadium? And you bring fish and caviar into this? Shellfish?
Do you remember when I mentioned how Seattle is the second most infertile? No, just kidding. So here's another thing that they're serving. They have this. They have a giant. This one actually sounds pretty good. It's a giant baked potato with brisket and I think it's sauteed jalapenos, which I wouldn't go in for.
Okay, that sounds great to me.
But
fully loaded.
Cheese,
fully loaded. Loaded bake.
When I was a kid, these used to be much more popular, and I haven't eaten one in a long time, but I love giant baked potatoes, like as the center star of the meal.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I'm Irish. We have to.
Yeah, pretty much. I can tell you what a 6-course Irish meal is, but I'll get to that in a minute. But, but just think about did they think that one through? You know, say the hated batter from Detroit comes up and you've eaten halfway through. Next thing you know, you're piling together a pretty decent sized wad of potato.
It's a tinfoil skin.
Yeah.
To ball it all
up. That thing will go a long way. I could throw that over the net.
Dude, no, we kid. We
hope that doesn't happen.
You can't park at my house. Don't throw your potatoes at the Tigers.
Did they think this through?
No, they did not.
They also have a giant pretzel.
God, that one looks awesome.
I disagree with you on this one. Tell me some details on the giant pretzel. It was a pretzel, and it's got a beer batter, cheese dip.
I love,
but it's also got like a cranberry something dip alongside of it, and a third thing. You have 3 dipping options with this pretzel. This seems like too much to me. I also don't like savory pretzels, so I'm biased on this one. Would you guys buy any of those?
I might buy the pretzel, but I'm a traditionalist. I just get like a dog and a beer.
I'm a sauce guy, too. If it's a pretzel with a lot of different sauces,
you got a lot of sauces.
I'm there. I'm a sauce guy.
Aren't you uncomfortable sitting in your seat, though, as you're like balancing these sauces precariously on your kneecaps? Those tiny little seats.
Not at $600 a ticket. I'm putting my stuff wherever the hell I want to put my stuff.
You've got your crab bib on, so you're sitting there with your little hammer.
Mallet.
Tick, 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 breaking open the crab.
Little trident-shaped mallets. That'd be great.
That would be actually really cool. You do bring up a good point. The price of tickets, you guys have seen?
Yeah, it's nuts.
No. It's going to be really expensive. And now you're talking about them serving like, come and get your crab legs and caviar. This is ridiculous.
It's $1,000 day at the park.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, it's kind of priced out the hard fan.
How does a person with kids go to this game? If you don't already have season tickets, how do you go to this game?
I can't imagine that the number of children, the number of toddlers at this game will be
almost none.
Almost none.
It's going to be like the land that the kids forgot.
Land that forgot kids.
Forgotten kids. There'll be like a kid catcher there outside the gate. Like you can't bring kids in here because it's $1,000 a person.
Certainly can't have your bark in the park either for this game.
The kid's not going to make it to even the 7th inning stretch. They're going to last like 4, and then they're going to want to go.
I want to go play at the playground.
At the playoffs. Yeah,
for pee all the time.
For $400 a pop or ticket. $1,200, whatever they could be.
Next round's
you just can't
more,
afford to.
series is more.
I can't afford to go to that
game.
No,
it's insane.
They're projecting if they make it to the ALDS, $1,200 will be the median ticket price for the series. They're looking at $2,200. First blush on median ticket prices for Seattle World Series.
I'm excited for them. I don't like the price, but
it is what it is, right? I mean, that's reality today. But
if you want to park at my house and watch it at home, I mentioned the missus is out of town a weekend.
That's right.
It's a boys' weekend at Spike's house.
$50 a ticket. Watch it at Spike's house.
Comes with cold beer.
All right, that's Chris Sullivan. Thanks for coming in, man. It's going to be an exciting weekend at sports.
Huge.
Go Mariners. Go Seahawks. Go Sounders.
Go Huskies.
Go Huskies.
Go Dogs. Whatever. Go Cougs. Whatever.
We go Bobcats. Go playing NAU tomorrow.
All right, we got to go. We got Friday Favorites coming up next. We'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens.
Touchdown Seahawks!
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Number 54, Bobby Wagner, linebacker, one of the finest of his generation. He set just about every tackling record that can be set. He was the heart and soul of one of the best defenses to ever play in the National Football League.
The Seahawks go for a 4th straight win, hosting Tampa Bay Sunday before the 12s. Kickoff at 1:05, pregame at 10 a.m.
Right here on KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM.
I'm Scott Hansen, host of NFL Red Zone. Lowe's knows Sundays hit different when you earn them. We've got you covered with outdoor power equipment from Cobalt and everything you need to weatherproof your deck with Trex decking. Plus, with lawn care from Scott's and, of course, Pit Boss grills and accessories, you can get a home field advantage all season long. So get to Lowe's, get it done, and earn your Sunday. Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Are you happy with how you're feeling these days? Are you slowing down physically or mentally? Ever wonder what your life will be like 10 to 15 years from now? Most of us don't really know how we're aging or if we can even do anything about it. But here's the truth. Knowledge is power, and that's exactly where we start at Longevity Medical Clinic. We run advanced diagnostics to find out what's really going on inside your body, and then we create a personalized hormone and health optimization plan designed specifically to help you live better starting now. Our patients are often amazed by what they discover in their blood work, and even more amazed at how quickly they start to feel like themselves again. This isn't guesswork, it's science, it's personal, and it works. Take the first step today. Call 866-86-YOUNG or visit lmclinic.com to schedule your free consultation. Longevity Medical Clinic. Feel better today and every day after that.
Contractors and heavy equipment operators, get ready for a big one. The James D. Murphy Company brings you the huge Marysville Heavy Equipment, Contractors Equipment, Trucks, and Vehicles online auction. And bidding is underway now. On the auction block, 10 excavators, including a 2021 Komatsu PC88MR and a 2018 Komatsu PC238, a 2017 Komatsu WA320-8 wheel loader, a 2003 John Deere 770 OCH motor grader, plus 4 backhoes, 3 reach lifts, and 4 boom lifts. There's 5 dump trucks, including a 2015 Peterbilt 367 Super Solo and 2 Western Star quad-axle roll-off trucks, and much more. Preview all equipment Tuesday, October 7th and Wednesday, October the 8th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our Marysville yard, 3803 136th Street Northeast in Marysville. Get all details now at murphyauction.com. That's murphyauction.com.
You've been wiring pounds to a second wife in London.
It's not what it looks like.
And here she is now.
Sure it isn't.
Hello, darling.
Elizabeth?
Did you know our husband used a bank instead of Wise to send you money? What an imbecile.
Well,
see, even your secret wife knows that banks are slow and hide fees in overseas transfers.
Those cheaters.
If you want to send money overseas, use Wise. They're faster and they don't hide fees.
You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise. Learn more by visiting wise.com. T's and C's apply.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
A men's health moment with Revive Men's Health.
1 in 3 men over 45 may have low testosterone. Revive Men's Health offers free T-checks and tailored treatment plans, so you can get back to feeling like yourself.
Learn more at revivemenshealth.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. A major development today in the Middle East, where Hamas now says it's accepted a peace deal to end the war in Gaza. CBS's Ed O'Keefe reports it includes the release of all hostages.
Sources knowledgeable with the talks tell us that Hamas has accepted and is ready to enter into further negotiations to discuss the 20-point proposal that was put forth by the White House earlier this week that was accepted by the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. They said in part in a statement out of concern to stop the aggression and the genocidal war being waged against our steadfast people in the Gaza Strip and stemming from our national responsibility. In essence, Hamas is ready to talk.
Israel has not yet responded. President Trump is calling for Israel to, quote, stop the bombing in Gaza. Sean Diddy Combs has been sentenced to 4 years and 2 months in prison after being convicted of transporting individuals for prostitution. CBS's Jerika Duncan is outside the courthouse with more.
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and he said moments ago, I want to personally apologize to all of the victims of domestic violence. He said, quote, I hate myself right now. I was stripped to nothing. And when it comes to that video of him beating Cassie, he said, I was sick on drugs. I was out of control. I needed help. I make no excuses. I knew better.
Diddy was acquitted of the more serious charges that would have carried the possibility of life in prison. Government shutdown is likely to continue into next week. There is still no deal in sight. Republicans and Democrats struck down the plans again today that would have ended the shutdown. More from CBS's Linda Kenyon at the White House.
Senate Democrats have been citing pending cuts to health care subsidies under the Affordable Care Act for their refusal to end the government shutdown. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt insists the Democrats really want something else.
It is an undisputed fact that Democrats want to give taxpayer-funded health care benefits to illegal immigrants.
Secretary Leavitt says those immigrants are clogging emergency rooms ahead of American citizens. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
And this just in, the Seattle Mariners are giving pitcher George Kirby the Game 1 start against the Detroit Tigers tomorrow. Luis Castillo will start Game 2. Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk at 2:34. Here's Nate Connors.
This one brought to you by the KIRO Radio Rundown. It's turning into a busy afternoon around the region. Everett to Marysville is a 15-minute trip, which isn't bad, but you're crowded from 526 up to Highway 2. And again, approaching the Union Slough into Marysville. You will notice up there the new State Route 529 ramps to I-5 are now open, along with that new roundabout giving easy access to I-5. Everett to Seattle, 55 minutes, 40 from Linwood. Your only backup is at 85th in the downtown, but it is a thick one. North 5 is now packed from the Michigan Curve in the downtown. Bellevue to Renton, plan on 25 minutes. You're heavy between Southeast 8th and Cold Creek Parkway. North 405, you're packed through the Renton S-curves. Seattle to Federal Way, give yourself a half hour. Tacoma to Olympia is an hour. And northbound I-5 at the Fife Curve, we've got a new stall that's blocking that right lane. Text newsletter to 888-973-5476 and subscribe to the daily KIRO News Radio Rundown. Get the latest news and updates from your favorite KIRO News Radio shows straight to your inbox. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Seeing some partly cloudy skies today, mostly dry. A couple scattered showers tomorrow, but overall dry this weekend. And right now, 64 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. All right, we got Friday Favorites, which is a lot of fun. Look back on the week of audio, although mine came up today. That rarely happens, but it did happen. So we're going to play for it. Let's play for you in just a few minutes. Laura, start us off. Friday Favorites. What's your favorite?
Well, it had to be our interview with Joff Gold, the
pumpkin guy.
Giant pumpkin Pacific Northwest Growers Association president.
It's the great pumpkin. He's rising up out of the pumpkin patch.
Obviously, it's pumpkin season. It's October. No one can deny the pumpkin spice latte any longer, right?
I can deny it.
What's your start date?
I can avoid it, but
no, I don't drink it at all. I don't mind people drinking it. I think my wife likes a. Do they have a matcha version? She's drinking a lot of matcha these days.
Is she? I'll give you I'll take because they don't pay for the plug. But
go ahead.
Top Pot's got a homemade pumpkin spice syrup. You can make anything.
Really?
A pumpkin spice,
well,
yeah.
They make a fine donut.
They do.
I just
It's
don't like
good
the
stuff.
flavor of pumpkin spice.
No,
I like a
then
pumpkin
this wouldn't
pie.
be for you.
I don't need to add a spice to it. The pumpkin pie is fine for me. Yeah, it's great. Go ahead, Laura.
Well, there are a couple of highlights for the interview that, I mean, first of all, this guy was just like, we couldn't have found a better expert.
Was great.
Which I would love to highlight because I found him. So
yeah,
they grew him from a seed too.
Yeah,
ironically
yeah.
enough, yeah.
The moment when you mentioned the guy with the record and he just knew.
He knows all the
He
stats.
knew it off the top of his head.
A couple of years ago when I was doing the night show here, I talked to a guy whose name was Travis Geinger. Do you know that name, Travis Geiger?
He holds the world record at 27:49 right now.
This guy, look at this guy. He knows. 2,749 pounds.
I mean.
He was great. He was great because if you are in the world of giant pumpkin growing, then of course you're going to know.
It's your passion.
That's the number you're trying to beat.
It's your passion, yes. And this guy holds records. He grew one of the largest squashes, I believe, at like, over 1,000 pounds or near 1,000 pounds or something.
State record for the porch pumpkin, which he defined
porch pumpkin,
for us.
177 pounds.
Yeah.
Imagine that on your front porch.
Which is like one
That's
of
like the ones that sit outside of Safeway.
Yeah.
But huge.
With a square stem, we found out during the interview, because the guy knew everything.
Yeah.
He knew everything.
Well, and then this was my favorite piece of trivia, which I just wanted to bring up again, was that I didn't know that the pumpkin seeds of the winners get auctioned off like prize horses.
Some of those seeds in auction across North America can go for $500 to $1,000. And boy, if you pay that much, you better hope it germinates.
I got to get into this industry.
You
Let
should.
me tell you.
You absolutely should. You can make good money at it. But it's
I
like
can see your deck
from
coming
tomatoes
down
to
now.
Yeah. It's like a stud
What happened
feed
to your deck, Laura?
for a racehorse.
1,100-pound pumpkin.
Like a stud feed for a
totally.
racehorse.
They're
You know,
heirlooms,
just
yeah.
Send them out to pasture, and they just get to enjoy, doing what winners get to do.
Well, anyway, that was far and away my favorite story of the week. Spike, what was yours?
That was great.
My favorite story of the week, I don't think we have any audio from it. And Laura, did you find something, Laura? You brought this one in, Jake, and I love this story. It's about the tin can. It's about
the phone people.
The phone. There's a company, local company that's offering a product. The debate these days is how soon do you introduce your kids to phones, because all phones are smartphones
and smartphones.
And this
social media.
This company just made basically a landline that is app based and Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Introducing Tin Can, the new school landline for friends. It's just like our old phones with no texting or games. And it has all the other regular phone things too, like buttons and twirly cords. There's even an app for parents to control which numbers call in and out, so no stranger danger.
I love this idea.
The coolest thing about this, we ordered a landline for the house, so that the kids had some sense of like independence. They could contact. My oldest is 10, so they can contact their friends now. And I'll tell you what, they don't need much. I mean, I do think that there's this idea these days, because the technology is there and everybody has access to screens of all kinds and everything's so cheap these days. I mean, I know that iPhones are expensive, but that kids need these things, and they don't. They're really happy with simple things, which is why Legos are still one of the most popular toys in the world.
Man, you bet.
Going outside, just playing with sticks and dirt, still very popular, even though it doesn't cost a lot. And so these simple things, just having a phone that a kid can go up and dial a number to their friend, what a cool thing. You and I grew up having that experience.
And
Laura, I don't know if you grew up.
I did. No, yeah. We had a landline. No twirly cord. It was wireless, but
Still cool.
Neighborhood kids would call down and say, "Hey, can we play? You want to hang out?" And we would just run out in the street.
And you felt so special having a phone call that was for you.
It was in my room.
Oh, you had
because
a room
I
phone.
was the only one in the house with a working phone jack. It just happened to be in my bedroom.
Nice.
So I ran that place.
Yeah, which you don't even need anymore. This company, Tin Can, they put these things out. You just plug it into the wall.
Wi-Fi. There's an app you can control.
Wi-Fi based.
You can control who gets to call that number for kids' safety.
Yeah, it's
You can
cool.
shut it down at a certain hour of the night or during dinner time.
I think we're going to have them on the show, actually,
Oh,
hopefully
that'd
next
be
week.
great. Anyway,
So
I just thought it was such a cool idea, because it gives kids an opportunity to share a memory and build, that we had, that nowadays kids can't because of how intrusive smartphone technology
Yeah,
is.
the most important thing is they still want to be able to connect with friends.
Exactly.
You don't want them connecting with weirdos online.
Right.
And so this fixes those problems. All right, my favorite audio of the week by far, this just got to be Mayor Bruce Harrell in a debate last night against Katie Wilson, his challenger. He was asked a very simple question. There's a very simple answer he could have given, and we wouldn't be talking about it today, but he gave the most convoluted, ridiculous answer. that very well could cost him the election if he wasn't already going to lose. This could push him over the edge. But this was the question that was presented to him.
If somebody has offended 6, 7, 8 times, even if it's a minor offense, but they continue to fail to turn their life around, at what point do you balance public safety to giving this person, some accountability?
And then here is what he calls an answer.
What is that balance?
So let me make something very clear. I was the one that sponsored the ban the box legislation when everyone opposed it because the criminal system has had a disparate impact on black and brown communities. Let me lead with that. So when this person is committing 6 or 7 crimes, I don't know his or her story. Maybe they were abused as a child. Maybe they're hungry. So my remedy is to find their life story to see how we could help first. I have no desire to put them in jail.
No desire? 8 offenses, no desire?
But I need to protect you, and that's the calibration that we have. I put police officers on the stand. I've cross-examined them. So whether they commit 7 or 8 crimes to me is not the issue. The issue is why are they committing these crimes?
Why did he mention police officers there? It's a complete non sequitur. What's he talking about?
I think he was talking about, even if they're law enforcement officers, that is, I've put them on this trial.
He didn't ask about law enforcement. What about an offender on the street who's done this 6, 7, 8 times? And then he says, I put police officers on the trial, on the stand?
I don't know.
I can't. Make any sense.
It was a word salad, and I didn't get it.
And so we have a health-based strategy. We authorized our fire department, for example, to be the first fire department in the country to administer buprenorphine. I want these people treated. So for me, it's not 7 or 8. It's how do I stop? How do I go upstream to find out what's in their life? But at the end of the day, I also have to protect you, and that's the calibration that we've done. And we are best practice in this country in doing it.
This, to me, is an answer of somebody who doesn't seem serious about trying to fix the problem, because it's not a real answer. There's no way he believes somebody who's been arrested 8 times. He's going to suddenly, big brother them and figure out, hey, pal, are you hungry? Are you having a rough childhood that led to this somehow? If somebody offends 8 times, that's a dangerous person.
Well, and you said it right out of the gate. There's an easy answer to this question, and he's swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Text messages coming up next. We'll be right back.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event this Saturday, October 4th through October 19th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event starting this Saturday. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Hey, Spike O'Neill for Integrity Roofing and Construction. You've been hearing me rave about integrity for months now, years now. Guess what they're doing in the month of October? In the month of October, Integrity Roofing and Construction is giving away a free roof. That's right, free roof to a family in need. You can nominate someone or yourself if it fits. Go to integrityrc.com and click on the Integrity Cares page. Integrity Roofing and Construction offers an opportunity for somebody to protect their home, to upgrade, and protect their family. Nominate somebody today at integrityrc.com. Click on the Integrity Cares page because doing the right thing matters.
You're miracle workers.
Don't know about that.
My drain was clogged.
Right.
You came in a jiffy.
And got right to work.
Now it's clear.
It's what we do.
Like I said, you're miracle workers.
Actually, we're plumbers.
Apollo plumbers.
You want to see some real miracle workers?
Huh?
Just take a look at Seattle Children's.
Sure.
They're all hope, care, and cure.
All true.
And together, we can help them.
How so?
Your service fee?
Yeah.
Apollo Plumbing is donating it.
To benefit Seattle Children's Hospital.
We're donating all our service fees.
All month.
To help Seattle Children's provide outstanding care and support research.
And ensure no child in need is ever turned away.
That's the goal.
Gotta love that.
Gotta love the work they do at Seattle Children's.
So I call, you come.
Apollo donates your service fee. All our service fees.
All month?
All the way to $20,000.
That's so Apollo Plumbing.
Always ready, right now.
You really are miracle workers.
Aren't we all?
Maybe so.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
This March, Wendy's is fueling the madness with amazing deals on their hamburgers made with fresh, never frozen beef.
Like a juicy Dave's single for $1 and a fresh $2 Dave's double with in-app offer.
It's such a good deal, we wrote a little ditty about it.
Get it for $1. Dave's single, order in the app. Dave's single, get it for $1. Choose wisely, choose Wendy's official hamburger March Madness.
Limited time offer. Participating U.S. Wendy's. See offer details and redeem at Wendy's app. Account registration required. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S. and Alaska.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it hard to fight flu, pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer. This Thursday through Sunday, catch 8-time Grammy-nominated saxophonist Gerald Albright with special guest Leon Timbo, live at Dimitro's Jazz Alley. 4 nights of funk honoring the legacy of James Brown. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
Ooh, hey, remember those yodelers who went in the Alps? I wired them euros from the bank, and they sent me their yodels in a can.
You wired money for canned yodels? That is so dumb. Banks are slow, and they hide fees and overseas transfers and exchange rates.
Well, I don't like the sound of that.
If you're gonna send money to Europe, just use Wise. Wise is super fast and never hides fees.
Smart.
You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise. Learn more by visiting wise.com. T's and C's apply.
right, welcome back to the show. Tons of text messages to get to. Laura, fire away.
On our surprise show open today, Eileen in Bremerton says, OMG, I love that intro and love that voice.
It was so great. If you guys didn't hear it, go back and listen to the start of every hour. Tom Hutler, you guys got him record a surprise opening. Makes it sound like we're at the Mariners. Fantastic. Tina in Puyallup says, you absolutely have to keep that opening announcement for the show. It was awesome. Yes, Tina, we will. That's
Thank
great.
you so much. And on Mariner Fever, Kelly says, resale tickets for the M's are twice as much as the Tigers.
Nice.
Excuse me? What's that mean? Wait a minute. Resale tickets for the Mariners are twice as much as the Tigers. How do you?
So like the resale value here is twice as much as
as far as
for
a ticket price in
Detroit.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I couldn't figure that out.
That's how I'm taking it.
Oh, no, I think you're right.
That's
I think
how
you
I
read
choose
it
to take it.
Well done.
253 is let's talk kidneys. I'm a B negative. So any fans who are willing to follow through on a win, start a list now.
And 425 says, crab on your right, garlic fries on your left. Ick.
Oh, I know, right?
Crab fingers and garlic breath,
The smell
right?
of baseball has changed
Don't
so
bring
much.
a date to this game.
It's a wealthy sport now.
On Mayor Harrell's debate answer on repeat offenders, John in the 573 says, I know several shady people in Seattle who commit crimes simply because they know they're not going to get in trouble. They laugh about it.
Completely true. Doc and Shoreline, I'm not about the person who has 7 or 8 convictions. How do we stop that person from feeling that they need to have 7 or 8 convictions? Stop it at 1 or 2 with treatment if it's drug related, or homes if it is home related. Excellent, Doc. Thank you.
Doug in Mount Vernon says, stealing because they're hungry. Okay, Charles Dickens.
Yeah, I know. Maybe it's an antiquated point of view.
100%.
I just always wish for the best from people.
May I have some more?
Some more, please.
Very
Smash
Jean
the
Valjean
window.
bread.
Okay, yeah. 206 says, Harold's reply reminds me of a joke from Red Dwarf. You ever see the show Red Dwarf? Great British comedy.
Yeah.
Constantly failing the astronavigation exam. I wouldn't call 9 times constantly. If someone ate roast beef 9 times in their life, I wouldn't say the person constantly eating roast beef. I would say it's a rare and freak occurrence. Good luck with that.
All right, on Housing First, people, Doug from Puyallup says, free room and board with no restrictions for junkies and tweakers. What could possibly go wrong? Excellent,
We
Doug.
have a list.
Yes.
Well, and 425 says, guys, it's already happening in Kirkland. We have talked about that before.
Yeah, we did.
Plymouth Housing is going in next door to a daycare and adjacent to 3 schools. A block away is the transit center where drug dealers can easily access. This is unacceptable, but as a community, we tried to stop it to no avail.
We should really reach out to
Here's
Plymouth
how you
Housing.
stop it.
Yeah.
Any local city official that was okay with this, vote them out.
That's how we do it. Elections are coming, yep. Leanne in Belfair says, I think they should give a financial option for the daycare to be able to move somewhere else.
Yeah, I think the city in Redmond's case, they needed to help them to move to a different location.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
except problem is that daycare is there because there's residences there, a lot of them.
They
and
won't
those
have to
people
worry about
need-
that for long.
There
Those
you go.
residents are moving as well. I guarantee it. On the Care Bears, Aaron in Auburn says, gacked out refers to hallucinations. Yacked out refers to cocaine or yayo, or so I have heard. That was my understanding as well, Aaron, although I think I misused it. So thank you for the correction.
I'm glad that I never wanted to know those definitions. Never
Yeah.
had to. Laura in Pierce County says, why would CARE want to go out by themselves when you go to any hospital and have armed security? Nurses have backups.
Yeah, there you go. Go ahead, Laura.
sorry,
Read the last one, then I have a question for you guys.
Matthew, of course you want me to read the last one. Matthew says, Jake, I completely agree with you and had the same thought as you. They should be brought to a facility and dealt with there. I think you are kind of underestimated and underappreciated for your opinions. Maybe your voice is too youthful. Start smoking and drinking lots.
And then maybe I'll end up in one of these
Bring a
facilities.
little vocal gravitas.
Thank you, Matthew.
No to the voice of reason.
Very quickly, Mariners predictions for this weekend.
Oh, God, don't.
Do it.
So we find ourselves 2 up on come Monday morning.
Heading
I
back to
think
Detroit.
this team has unfinished business ahead of them.
I think the same thing. I think they're going to win the first 2. Detroit might rally for a home crowd, but then I think the Mariners are going to win Game 4 on the road. That would be my guess. Laura, very quickly.
I don't know anything about this, so I'm just going to say they're going to win it all.
Win the
Perfect.
whole
That's perfect.
blanking thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go Huskies, go Sounders, go Seahawks, go Mariners.
Go
Have a
Cougars.
great weekend,
I'm a
everybody.
charitable
Go
man.
Cougars. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO News Radio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM, powered by MyNorthwest.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
Contractors and heavy equipment operators, get ready for a big one. The James D. Murphy Company brings you the huge Marysville Heavy Equipment, Contractors Equipment, Trucks, and Vehicles online auction. And bidding is underway now. On the auction block, 10 excavators, including a 2021 Komatsu PC88MR and a 2018 Komatsu PC238, a 2017 Komatsu WA320-8 wheel loader, a 2003 John Deere 770 OCH motor grader, plus 4 backhoes, 3 reach lifts, and 4 boom lifts. There's 5 dump trucks, including a 2015 Peterbilt 367 Super Solo and 2 Western Star quad-axle roll-off trucks, and much more. Preview all equipment Tuesday, October 7th and Wednesday, October the 8th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our Marysville yard, 3803 136th Street Northeast in Marysville. Get all details now at murphyauction.com. That's murphyauction.com.
Many retirees are enjoying the retirement lifestyle, but not the high cost of living. We're here with our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage, who says a reverse mortgage may provide some stress relief.
If you're struggling with your mortgage payments or other bills, or maybe you just like some extra money, a reverse mortgage allows you to tap your home equity for tax-free cash. You've worked hard to build up that equity in your home. Now let it work for you. And best of all, you'll have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
But as you always say, a reverse mortgage is not for everyone.
That's right. Avoid the high-pressure sales pitch from those out-of-state call centers. I give you a consultation, not a sales pitch. I'll tell you if a reverse mortgage is right for you, and I always tell you if it's not.
Honest advice you can trust from the reverse mortgage experts. Best Mortgage, the VA loan experts and debt consolidation specialists too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law.